I'm surprised I'm saying this, Zaz, because I sort of rummaged around in this bin last week a little bit where I was saying, is previous information on basketball, given the way the sport has changed, obsolete? Because basketball's now unpredictable. You can't have Game 7 at home losers regularly.
It's been three of them this postseason.
No, it's been happening since 2016, where it's changed so much that it doesn't matter whether you've got Game 7 at home. And I could not and would not have predicted that, because the numbers are a bit crazy, right? Before 2016, Game 7s at home were 101-24. And since 2016, it's 14-17. It's a coin flip. If you're at home, you're the better team. You played all season to be the better team. You've got Game 7 at home. It doesn't matter.
I like that, though, because it really did used to be an impossibility to win Game 7 on the road. And that sucks.
Well, but the other thing that's changed, too, is Amin kept pounding, our expert. Not only did he think OKC was going to win, we'll talk to him today, he kept pounding. The Spurs don't have playoff experience. They don't have playoff experience. They just got to the finals with less playoff experience than any team since 1977.
Which is amazing, because they have Harrison Barnes, Kelly Olynyk, and Bismack Biyombo.
Dan, for the 8th consecutive year, longest such streak in the history of the NBA, we're going to have a unique champion. It's never happened before. 8 consecutive years, we're going to have a new champion.
I mean, you guys keep saying how unpredictable this season is when it's a rematch of the in-season tournament final. I mean, you want to talk about predictive analysis.
Go ahead and play Amin's analysis, predictive analysis before the series.
I think the Thunder are going to destroy them.
Why are you sadly shaking your head, Tony, and speechless?
I was sick about it. I'm there watching Game 7, one of like 11 people rooting for Oklahoma City because, again, I'm trying to stop galactic fascism, but you guys don't want it. So I'm sitting there like 2 inches from my TV, and I'm just looking at Wemby celebrating and crying, and I'm like, is he faking this? Can I say that he's faking this emotion? Then I'm seeing him take the trophy, which was actually kind of cool, but whatever, I'm not going to say that. Taking the trophy and like running it up and down the tunnel, and people were touching it. It was cool, but I'm trying to think of an ulterior motive he has. But again, maybe data collection on people's fingerprints. I'm still working that one out. But I'm sitting there looking at him like, damn, I have just this feeling in the pit of my stomach, and I'm sick to my stomach, and I'm like, it's happening. It's happening. He's already in the NBA Finals. The journey was supposed to be, you're supposed to get beat by the better team and then go back and beat them the next year. And all of those old school rules are now completely out. He tore them out of the book.
How do you imagine Amin watch that game? Because Amin keeps getting these things wrong. Like, he knows a lot. There's no question he knows a lot, but knowing a lot does not allow you to be good at predictions.
But, Tony, he did do his suffering in the in-season tournament final. And now you have a redemption arc.
Basketball, basketball, basketball. Basketball is back, Jack. Time for our favorite winter sport. The summertime is over, so let's head down to the court. Time for the tip-off. Give me fast breaks on the attack. Will you shoot a 3 or take it to the rack? Basketball is back, Jack. It's a dream shake down in the post, or a killer cross you love the most. When the offense tries to run and gun, is it man to man or box and one? It's big plays and talking smack. That's how you know that basketball is back, Jack. Let me hear you say basketball, basketball, basketball. Basketball is back, Jack. 360 dunks and pick and rolls. And we're gonna watch it every day till they raise the Larry O. Hard fouls and hook shots. A dagger 3 and hack a shack. If you say this game's the best, I'll say Zagak. Basketball is back, Jack. Basketball is back, Jack. Basketball is back.
I really love basketball and love having watched the last 45 years of how basketball went from tape delay to Magic and Bird to we're going to make our players stars, 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 and individuals and stories and stories and stories. And it felt like this weekend we got for the first time, we've been talking about that face of the league stuff for a long time. First time, oh, this is how it moves from LeBron and Steph and everything we've been talking about for 20 years. Here's how it moves. A country falls in love with a guy on the road beating the defending champions. Tony, do you feel alone with this? Because I really do wonder how Amin watched that game when he's saying that OKC is going to win the series very easily.
I think the Thunder are going to destroy them.
I'm wondering if at the end he's looking to sneak out with an overtime victory so he can say he just wasn't spectacularly wrong. But instead, Wemby wins the trophy, and it felt like, for one of the few times in my lifetime, America's rooting for the Giant. And I thought it was weird. Did you feel alone with that, Tony, that you're pulling the other side of the rope where you're saying, no, I don't want to like Wemby. He's about to win for the next 10 years.
Yeah, and I know Mike was here at this, side of the mountain as well, and I don't know if he's still there now or if he's gone into the Wemby side. So I do feel incredibly alone because I'm looking around and I'm in my group chats and I'm like, guys, I'm like Chicken Little. I'm like, the sky is falling. Don't you guys understand what's happening here? And everybody's like, no, this is awesome. Look how this, look how that. I'm like, no, you don't see the twinge of evil in his eye that I see. I'm trying to help you.
I totally understand where Tony is coming from, but for me, the greater evil that needed to be slayed was the style of play from Oklahoma City. And yeah, this might have happened a year early, and yes, we may be facing galactic fascism from here on out. I understand that Wemby was the underdog in this series, and there was support for him because of the SGA style of play and all that. But how is it going to look in the finals? And I understand it's New York and people have their feelings. But you literally have a player who is a giant going up against a really small, lovable point guard for the New York Knicks. The way that that's going to look, here are these faces of the franchises. It's legit David versus Goliath.
But face of the league's over, right? Like, we had that nonsense conversation for several years. Is it Anthony Edwards? Ja Morant? No, it's Wembanyama. The conversation's over.
But I'm saying it happened this weekend.
Yeah,
When you take it from the champs in their building and you make me pity Chet Holmgren because he has been born at the wrong time. If he'd been born 10 years earlier, this never would have happened to him. Maybe Shaq would have done it if it had been 20 years earlier.
Shaq would have used him as a toothpick.
No,
what are you talking about?
not as a toothpick. He would have gotten.
That's a funny visual.
He would have gotten stuck in Shaq's ass crack. He would have used him as one of those.
Go ahead, barbecue ribs. Hold on.
The floss thing that you use, the floss stick. No, I felt bad for Chet Holmgren. Did you?
No. And I'll tell you why, Dan. Here's why I did not feel bad for him.
What a pro wants.
He was so dirty early in the series. He was trying to hurt Wembanyama early in the series. You had him stepping on his foot on the free throw line. You had him on his hands and knees when he was on the ground and then lunged into Wembanyama's legs to try and take him out. If you're going to be dirty to the point you have intent to injure, I'm glad what happened to Holmgren in Game 7 happened to him. He was as meek as it gets in that Game 7. Not only was he clearly scared of going up against Wembanyama in that Game 7, but he didn't even compete, Dan. Like, do the dirty things. He literally did nothing. He did nothing.
Okay, just to understand, to recap what your point was, you got mad at him for doing the dirty things, and by the end, you wanted him to do the dirty things to show you that he was capable of something. But what I'm going to tell you, Zaz, this is the reason that I felt bad for Chet Holmgren. Okay, I don't know what your greatest insecurity is. Maybe it's that you're a cuck. But if everyone knows what your greatest insecurity is and you're watching it and it's playing out, and my theory on what you're saying about how he played early in the series, he's known since high school he doesn't have a chance against this person. And so he tries to injure him early because he doesn't have a chance against this person. He's running up against somebody who is better than him with his body and his skill set, and he knows it. And so that insecurity, to me, was on display for all of us there. That's not the player he is. His extension kicks in next year, 5 years, $250 million. That is not the player that he is, but against that guy, and only that guy. Because OKC this year was 71-14 against everybody else and 4-8 against the Spurs. That's crazy. And it's only because Wemby's there and they've got Chet Holmgren. And what happened in that series, you saw this. I don't know what De'Aaron Fox is going to give them against the Knicks. As soon as they brought in De'Aaron Fox, the Spurs stopped turning the ball over, and it didn't matter if De'Aaron Fox was missing 50 shots as long as they didn't turn the ball over, because OKC can only do what they do on offense and not frustrate you with their style of play if they're in the open court and they're stealing the ball. And so they just bring back the broken remains of De'Aaron Fox. He doesn't turn the ball over, and that's all he's doing because he's giving them next to nothing being out there. And he's just not turning the ball over when Castle was turning it over 21 times in 2 games. And so as soon as that happened, the Thunder had no answers, like none. The moment that happened, the Thunder just started losing and knowing they were losing. And so it wasn't just Chet Holmgren who's saying, oh, we're going to lose. It became all of them. If we can't turn the ball over, we're not going to score against this guy.
Yeah, Dan, and the crazy thing is that what the Spurs were doing was what OKC does great, which is, steal, transition, basket. The Spurs were doing that to OKC, turning them over, getting easy buckets in transition, and the OKC Thunder had no explanation or no advantage at that point. It was like, all right, you've nullified what we do great. Now we've got nothing for you because our 2 best ball handlers outside of SGA are not in the game, and you got Chet, who's a department store mannequin.
No answer is the word you were looking for. No explanation was not. No answer. They had no answer.
Ah, man, come on. It's
What are
Monday.
you doing
Come
here?
on.
What are you
Easy.
nitpicking over here?
What
What
are
are
you doing that?
I'm the one
We're not gonna
throwing you a
do that to
lifeline
you.
here.
We're not going to do that to you. Is it too early to zag? We're going to have a mean on, and we're going to chew on this series. It was a great series,
I was trying to help you.
but I have a take.
How are you helping me there? How are you helping me?
What do you mean?
You-
I had
Mike,
something
he
for
was-
you on
he
the
was
turnover
talking. He
thing.
was talking.
you were just saying the same thing that I had just said.
No,
except-
you did not say the same
Right.
thing I said. I said a different thing.
Here comes the zag. That was great for the Milwaukee Bucks. Wow. We don't have a lot of data points when it comes to Giannis v. Wemby, but I'm seeing this dude, and I'm thinking of body types, and it ain't Chet Holmgren that can potentially stop him.
Giannis is literally
It's Bam.
the perfect player to stop him.
You would think. Now, we don't have enough evidence. We don't really know what Giannis will look like coming off of this injury. He is getting older.
I saw him run around playing soccer over the weekend. It looked great.
I mean, he's got the strength, the length that, if you're OKC, you got to be thinking, what is it going to take? Because now your whole prism is this is the guy that's built to stop us. And the rest of the league, Miami Heat included, got to be thinking like, well, how do we stop that guy? The answer may be Giannis.
That was my first thought, Dan, over the weekend was, did the Giannis market just become a little bit more clouded for the Miami Heat? Because if Sam Presti and the Thunder want Giannis,
Yep.
he's theirs. Like, they can get him. They have all the draft capital that you want. You could trade them Holmgren. Heck, I don't know. Maybe you keep Holmgren and you trade Jalen Williams. I don't know. But if they want Giannis, you can get him.
Yeah, that's one of the things that happened on Saturday that has reverberations, because that's absolutely so. And when you say if they want Giannis, no, that's not an if anymore. The Thunder, in front of all of us, just fell behind the Spurs. Like, we all watched it happen. I know they're a little bit injured. They can make the argument that they're a little bit injured, but this sport injures, and Wemby's not going to get worse from here. Like, Wemby's going to keep improving, and the problem with that is he makes your $250 million second player totally useless, and he makes your MVP skittish and inconsistent, because what I just gave you in those numbers, the Thunder were 71-14 against everybody else, but against the Spurs, they were 4-8. They're behind the Spurs now. They came into their building and took the title from them. And when you ask, how do you stop Wemby? Well, oddly enough, Anunoby's the one who defends him best in the entire league. That kind of physicality. There's not anybody better who frustrates Wemby more, and I believe the Knicks have a legitimate chance, and that was the perfect result for the Knicks, because I think they would have had more trouble against OKC than they will against the Spurs.
I'm not willing to say that the Thunder are now behind the Spurs, because it's not a small thing that they went to 7 games while they didn't have their second best player for 4 of them. And their second best player in Jalen Williams, when he was out, they then had an emerging second best player in A.J. Mitchell, who was also out. And they still went to 7 games.
But the De'Aaron Fox being out early in that series is what happened early in that series. Like, De'Aaron Fox was also hurt. If the Spurs don't turn the ball over, they don't lose to OKC. That's how that's going to play out. If the Spurs have somebody who doesn't turn the ball over, OKC is going to keep losing. Like, when I say to you that Wemby before this series pointed out, hey, we beat them 3 times when they had their full squad during the regular season, and the games weren't close. The games weren't close. OKC looks bad against them, unrecognizable. And so when I understand why you would say, well, they haven't fallen behind the Spurs. The Spurs are the only team they've fallen behind, because it's the only team that can make them look like that. There's no second team that makes them look anything like that. I did not recognize the defending champions at home. Didn't recognize them. For 2 years, they haven't lost back-to-back games in the playoffs. They just did at home. The most important one. Why? Because there were no turnovers, and Wemby plays for the other guys.
And the matchups are really bad for Oklahoma City, right? Like, you have tough defensive wings in Stephon Castle, who's 21 years old, who's going to be a problem.
Dylan Harper is so good, by the way.
They're all going to get better. They're also younger than the Thunder.
And cheaper.
I think it would be, look, if I'm Oklahoma City, if I'm Sam Presti, I'm absolutely acquiring Giannis. He seems the perfect player to go up against Wembanyama. And I know we like talking about, dynasty, it's the beginning. We never know how long these things are going to last. In 2023, when the Nuggets won the championship, they're going to win several. In 2024, when the Celtics won, they're going to win several. In 2025, when the Thunder won, they're going to win several. No one even returns to the finals after they win it, okay? So, I'm not sitting here ready to crown the Spurs, but it does feel very anti what Sam Presti does, where he would have this emotional reaction, no Jalen Williams, and, let's get super emotional and go ahead and trade the guy who we just signed for $240 million, whose money doesn't even kick in until next year, and we're going to get rid of him.
Not only that, you're trying to get Giannis, who maybe he doesn't even fit with the pieces that you have in Oklahoma City currently, right? Like, he's a guy that wants to play with the ball in his hand, where you have the 2-time MVP who's not going to give the ball up out of his hand. So how do you play Giannis off ball?
I understand why Heat fans would immediately go there, because OKC has more to offer. Presti is a very smart general manager. I don't think any of what I'm saying is emotional. He's got a problem. It's 7'3" and is going to dominate the league if it's healthy for the next 10 years. You saw Nike was ready right after the game, because now it begins, okay? This is how it has to happen when you're talking about face of the league stuff. He goes into Madison Square Garden now to conquer the happiest New York there's been about basketball in as much time as any of us can remember. And Nike always meets these moments. Nike is ready as soon as that game. I don't think this ad is running. If they don't win Game 7, here's an ad that Nike runs on behalf of Wembanyama.
It's like a spaceship.
Extraterrestrial.
Goosebumps.
He has arrived at the end, too. Wow.
That's good.
I hate it.
That's good.
I love him so much. I'm so excited about this.
It's good.
It's so cool to have a star like Wemby who just cares, like the emotion that he's willing to show. And it's not that these other players don't care. All of these guys care to be at that level of craft. But to be there and be willing to show the emotion, he talked about earlier in the year, he's not willing to wear the burden of hiding his emotions. And to have that happen at the end of that game as this extraterrestrial, it's a special time to watch the sport.
You saw the advantages of being really tall when you want to celebrate with your teammates. That guy could see everyone on the court. Like, okay, here, like, I feel like, if you're 5'3" there,
if you're Brunson,
where are my teammates? And then Wemby was just like, I'd like to go to Castle now. I'd like to go to you now. It was so cool to see him just be able to get to every teammate.
The better story, and I know you guys are going to accuse me of being a Knicks fan again. The better story for the league, I believe, is New York winning and Wemby having to wait another year. I believe that's the better story.
I think it's the opposite. I think going into every year, is this the year that New York finally wins, is the story.
New York's not going to win for 10 straight years, and I know you just got done saying every year we think the team that wins is going to win again. There's a new predictive model now in the NBA where the thing has changed. 7 or 8 straight different champions is crazy. The three-pointer and the injuries have sort of changed how easy it is to predict what it is that we're watching. But I keep vacillating between, is he going to save the sport or is he going to ruin it? I really don't know the answer to that. I know we threw it out as a poll question, but if Wemby is going to get better, and if I'm going to say this again, that team is really young. They have no experience. It's all on the bench. It's all Harrison Barnes and Biyombo. There hasn't been a team this inexperienced in the finals since 1977. Like, they're not supposed to be here. And they're here because they've got the 7'3" guy. And since when is the 7'3" guy the lovable underdog that everyone roots for? Can you guys give me all the examples you have of that? Because Shaq had to wait a long time before winning, and I don't remember anyone rooting for Shaq to win.
I mean, Shaq was in the finals in his 3rd year also. Were we rooting for Shaq like this?
I don't remember people rooting for Shaquille O'Neal outside of the region or he was rooted for in Miami and Orlando and LA, but I don't remember the nation saying to itself, wow, I really hope Shaq wins the title. Shaq was viewed as an underachiever. Shaq didn't win until he was like 30, right? It took Shaq a long time.
Yeah.
He's the most dominant basketball player there's ever been in terms of dominance. And it didn't happen in his 3rd year. And still, people didn't really love Shaq because nobody loves Goliath. That's not how that works.
It was his 8th year. He was 28 years old, Shaq. 8th year took him to win. I mean, look, Wilt was dominant. He only won twice,
I view this more like how we watched LeBron ascend. Like, when LeBron first came into the league, there was all of this promise. There was this hype that we saw as he entered with, who is this going to be? He's the chosen one, according to Sports Illustrated. We saw similar hype with Wemby of who is this freak from a foreign land coming over here to be the number 1 pick and save the Spurs franchise. And when you see talent and expectation met this early in a career, that's why you find people rooting for him. He's a likable guy. He's an excellent competitor. He shows emotion. It reminds me of the beginning of LeBron.
Yeah, but the beginning of LeBron was a runway that we saw the suffering, right? Like, he got drafted in 2003, didn't make to the finals till 2007. That's 4 years. He didn't win. He got smoked. And then it took them fighting the Detroit Pistons, fighting the Boston Celtics, him going to Miami, then finally doing. You're talking about almost 10 years of struggle, right? Where Wemby's just like, 3rd year, I'm here, I'm better than everybody, and good luck with the league.
Yeah, it was LeBron's 9th year that they won the championship.
Yeah, but we haven't seen Wemby win it yet. Mm-hmm. This is the beginning. They're both 22 years old when they get there.
Jeremy, can you look up for me, please, some of what Wemby did against the Knicks this year? Because I think people are sleeping on the Knicks against the Spurs because of how well the Spurs match up with the Thunder, but less well with the Knicks because Wemby wasn't quite what you're used to seeing when they were playing the Knicks, at least in part because Anunoby was a legitimate problem. I'm going to say this again, though. Has it all changed now in basketball that you don't need to be experienced in the playoffs? Like that it doesn't matter. You've got
if you have a 7'3" guy that's a demigod, perhaps.
Because this can still be exposed. Like an absence of playoff experience would reveal itself in Madison Square Garden in a finals game. Like that's where something like that could be present if all your players are 21 and 22 years old.
I know that they are not directly matched up, but Brunson can cause a lot of problems by getting inside. And for me, it's the shots that he's not going to take in this series. Does he avoid Wemby's, reach, his presence? Because we've seen that iconic photo now, and it's only aging better, of Steph Curry shooting over Wembanyama. Brunson's got range. Brunson's smaller than Steph Curry, and he isn't exactly Steph Curry. No one is.
You got it right, though. The way that they can beat the Spurs is the way that they beat the Sixers. They make 18 threes and a half, and it's not Brunson that has to make them because he's just collapsing your defense again and again and again, and your three-point shooters are open. They can beat anybody that way. They can play that style against anybody, and if they hit 18 three-pointers in the first half, they're going to blow anybody out.
In the regular season loss to New York, Wembanyama had 25 points and 13 rebounds. In the regular season win against New York, Wembanyama had 31 points and 13 rebounds. And I would tell you what happened in the play-in in the in-season championship game, except the NBA treats it like the game didn't exist. It doesn't count, so there's no box score for it.
No, it's a different campaign. The drop-down bar, NBA Emirates Cup. Try that.
He had 18 and 6 off the bench because he was coming off injury.
That's a big bit of context right there. Wasn't healthy. But to everybody's point, we did see these two teams play for a trophy.
Is everyone here except for Tony rooting for Wemby? Is that what's happening around here?
You have to. It's the Knicks.
I think we're already there. This is what I was fearing initially when he got drafted. It's like, well, this guy's going to be really difficult to beat. He's going to be boss in this league. He's already in the NBA Finals. Let's be there. Let's get started on that storyline so then we can all unite. And how the hell do we topple this guy?
Want to read you guys a couple of quotes here. Jalen Williams says, quote, "I think we could have won if I played." Yeah?
Yeah, why wouldn't he say that?
And this is what Wemby said. "I want to win so bad, it's like my life depends on it. Winning the Larry O'Brien, it's a childhood dream. It's almost like the meaning of my life." Who says that?
Someone who has been sent here by aliens with that mission.
Do you think they could have won if Holmgren played?
He took 2 shots in Game 7. What do you have? 4 rebounds?
Yep.
2 shots, 4 rebounds.
He attempted 3 3-pointers in the final 4 games of the series, including none in Game 7. What are you doing? Like, he's not even competing, Dan.
Well, you say he's not competing, and what I would tell you is the reason that I so rarely feel this. I can be an empath about a million different things, but I so rarely feel pity for someone just while they're playing, and I'm telling you that what I felt was, oh, look, everyone can see that Chet is scared, and he knows it. Everyone can see, not just on both teams, everyone watching on television can see that Chet Holmgren is scared of this game and this person, and we're all watching him be scared, and he knows that we know that he's scared because everything's going wrong for him.
Maybe he needs to go visit the monks or do whatever it is that Wemby did and try to channel his inner Wemby. But what he did is got punked the entire series. Punked.
You can't be scared, though.
Exactly right.
You can't be scared. We weren't watching San Antonio against Portland in the first round saying, oh, they're scared. Or San Antonio against Minnesota, oh, they're scared. Chet Holmgren on the defending champs. He's scared.
All right, so you're saying you can't be scared, but would all of you acknowledge, am I getting all yes votes to this question? Chet Holmgren played a Game 7 of basketball at the highest professional level scared. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
That dates back to high school. That guy's been getting his lunch eaten by Wemby since they started playing together for the first time. Do you know what a big thing it is when greatness announces itself by taking an ancillary character like Chet Holmgren at the start of this decade and just blowing him right off the page? You will never be a superstar. You will never be the person that is needed to be giant in these moments. You're not going to grow into this. The player we have seen up to now, this is the player you are. And when you run into Wemby, you're going to be scared for the rest of your life because we saw at the very beginning of your career how scared you were.
Eddie George was a terrific NFL player. And when I think of Eddie George, I think of Ray Lewis.
There aren't a lot of examples like that. It's such a good one. That is such a good one, because if you do word association with me on Eddie George,
Ray
it's,
Lewis.
it's practically that.
Right away, Ray Lewis.
That we watched somebody on a field get hit so many times, somebody who looked like Eddie George so many times, so violently that we were like, oh, he stole his soul. Give me all the examples you have of that where you have felt, this is one, this is absolutely one, because it's what I felt watching it. Give me all the examples that you have of players that you just associate. I'm not talking about the James Harden stuff. I'm talking about players who you associate with. They look across at another player and they're scared of that player.
Matthew Tkachuk and Evander Kane. Took his soul twice.
How'd you guys feel about Vegas and Carolina for the Cup?
Oh, this is terrible, Dan. I mean, who do I even root for here? I guess the answer is Vegas, but I wanted the vengeance against VGK. And I just hate that this all worked out for Carolina. I hate it. Didn't do anything. Barkov did something. He stepped on the ice and tore his ACL. By the way, I don't know if you saw Sasha Barkov at the World Championship.
Champion.
But borrowed time for whoever lifts this cup with a big-ass asterisk on top of it, because counting down already.
Yep.
All right? I am counting it down already. This Carolina thing is just, it's such a bummer. I mean, every time they go up against the Panthers in the playoffs, it is not close, despite Rob Brendamore saying that wasn't really a sweep. Like, this team gets dominated by the Florida Panthers, and they just had to go through the Senators. They had to go through the Flyers. And Montreal's all right. That's the best team that they face in the playoffs. But that's the 8, the 7, and the 4 seed. What a chump path this team took.
That's how the Knicks basically got to the finals. Barkov win the championship this year if he's healthy? Is he saying the same thing that Jalen Williams
Doesn't have
is saying?
to. We all know. Doesn't have to. When you're the best, you don't have to tell everybody you're the best.
So the Florida Panthers have to watch Vegas and Carolina in the finals. And I think, obviously, this is not something that's going to interest America a whole lot, this particular final. But also, I know it's going to sound like sour grapes or bias or homerism, but do I have it wrong when I say that the path that the Panthers took the last 2 years over great teams felt like it was a lot harder than what just ended up in the finals? Like that it's
yes,
that,
Dan, I have banners in my office, in my home office, that show like the path, and I was just marveling.
Tampa, Toronto, Carolina last year, right?
Yeah, the first one, we had to go through Tampa, Boston, New York, and Edmonton. It's just insane. Any single one of those teams on that path is better than both this Carolina Hurricanes team and any team that they've played or encountered along the way.
We're the best.
It's a crazy thing to say, though, is it not? So I have it right, Roy, when I say that on merit, if you're just simply someone who loves hockey, you're looking at this final and you're saying to yourself, meh. Like how you got there, meh.
Man, I miss the Panthers.
I mean, it seems like they're going to end up going 7 in this series.
I got caught in between playoffs and Panthers.
Yeah. I don't share that thought, whatever that was from Chris. But
the hockey world is saying, man, I miss the Panthers. Nailed it.
Hey!
We are absolute homers, and this is total sour grapes. And we sound, to the rest of the hockey world, probably ignorant, but no one took it from us. No one took it from us.
Do you sound ignorant, though? Because I'm asking the question from ignorance, okay? I saw the playoff teams and the conferences that the Panthers were climbing over the last 2 years, and I'm like, good God, this is grueling. But also the series before, like the years before that, I was looking at the hockey playoffs, and I'm saying, good God, this is grueling. What every champion has to get over. But I don't feel that way with these two teams. Like either one of them, even though I should probably feel that way, at least in part for Vegas, because it's kind of stunning what Vegas is doing.
Yeah, exactly. They swept the President's Trophy winning Colorado Avalanche. They swept them. They embarrassed them.
Panthers won more games in Vegas.
Too.
Not the Stanley Cup champion, the team that missed the playoffs this year. Panthers.
It just feels different, too, because you haven't had these grueling series. I would say that this is one of the rare occasions the NBA playoffs have been more dramatic than the NHL playoffs.
Oh, but that's my point. And the NBA playoffs haven't been dramatic. Like, that is my exact point is, like, it feels like not just the last 2 years. Don't make it the homerism of the Panthers. The last 10 years of hockey, I feel like the champion. I'm always watching. I'm like, good God, the hockey playoffs are hard and impossible. And look at all these good teams. And I think 7 teams can win. Last year, I felt like 10 teams could win.
I just want to point out that Montreal did have 2 7-game series in this playoffs. So if they have gotten past Carolina, that would have seemed pretty grueling as well.
And the Tampa series, the Tampa-Montreal series was all right. But in hockey, you can get to double digits on the incredible series that you see. And Montreal seemed to be the only team playing interesting ones.
I don't necessarily agree with you on the NBA playoffs, storylines, what have you, has been better than the NHL. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of recency bias there because the first couple rounds of both playoffs, the NHL was far superior. The NHL conference finals were terrible, and at least one of the NBA conference finals, you had the good storylines. Like, overall, the Stanley Cup playoffs have been better.
Sure, I guess, if you tell me, because I haven't really noticed, right? Like, they haven't broken through. Like, Wemby has broken through for people that don't watch basketball. People are like, oh, my God, what's happening there? Oh, New York is really excited. I see it on social media. Like, I had to be told who was in the Stanley Cup final because I didn't really know. Like, it hasn't broken through.
Let's get back to what it is that I was asking you guys, though. What is the better story for the league and for America? New York winning or Wemby winning? Because it's not even San Antonio. So what you have in Wemby is not only the giant. You also have the franchise, though it hadn't won a playoff game since 2017 before this year. You have a franchise that has done a whole lot of winning over the last 25 years. So if you're rooting for Wemby, you're also looking for the Spurs to have a corner on the market that New York never gets one and the Spurs get all of them. It's not just that Brunson is the small player going against the giant. It's also that the New York market, while it's large against the smaller market San Antonio, that's the underdog franchise. That's the laughingstock for 25 years. Which do you think America is rooting for, Zaz? Not you, not this room. What do you think America is rooting for? Is it Wemby? Is Tony alone everywhere where all of America is saying, yes, Wemby, please, you've got to slay New York?
I think he's very likable. I think you're pretty much on your own there, Tony. I think almost everyone outside of New York is rooting for the Spurs, yes.
Oh, look who's here. Michelle Beadle, our favorite Spurs correspondent. I'm sure that she will be just sunshine and easy to listen to.
So happy.
Hello, Michelle.
What's up?
It's nice to see you. Anything happened this weekend that you enjoyed?
Yes, for a split second, the entire world was at peace. It felt like joy was being felt by all. And you are right. Everybody in the entire world has jumped on the Spurs bandwagon. I am in Los Angeles where Lakers fans are stopping me in the street and telling me, we're rooting for you guys. That's never happened for as long as I've been alive. So this is a glorious time to be. I'm happy that everyone's joining in on the dynasty that is about to be a very much 4 or 5 year run of these bad boys. So you're welcome, NBA and the world. Joy once upon is on us all. Are you guys stoked? Look at that. Look at that. God, I love them.
So you felt like democracy was secured by Wemby. Any divisions in America, there was balm for them on Saturday.
Fixed it. He fixed racism. He fixed hatred. The divisiveness is. Look at this. This picture alone should win all the prizes. Nobel, name it.
Hey, David
Beautiful.
Guetta fixed racism 6 years ago. Also French.
Also,
Shout out
is
to
it
his
French
family.
thing?
Tony, do you have anything for Michelle here? Tony,
It sounds like propaganda is what it sounds like. It sounds like the Galactic Federation is sending down one of their own to tell me how great everything's going to be over the next 10 years where the Spurs win everything. No, I'm going to be batting down the hatches and making sure that the rest of the NBA can go forward into the future. Non-galactic fascism.
I'm going to tell you this. The rest of the NBA is going to cower like Chet Holmgren did in this series. Absolute fear of another man. It was an embarrassment to basketball. Honestly, Chet Holmgren should have a job overseas next season as far as I'm concerned. And that is how the rest of the league is going to look. Because Wemby's only going to get better, people. We got dogs.
Don't threaten us. Don't threaten us.
Woman. Threatening.
Michelle,
threatening
do you think that Dan is the only person who felt bad for Chet Holmgren?
How could you feel bad for Chet Holmgren? Like, I despise the idea of feeling bad for Chet Holmgren. You took 2 shots. in a game 7 in which the number 2 dude was in street clothes. Look, I mean, I don't know that I've ever been afraid of another person, but now I know what it looks like, and I don't want any part of that.
You answered your own
that was
question, though.
mortifying.
That's why I felt bad for him, because he was scared, and he knew that we knew that he was scared, and Wemby knew, and the Spurs knew, and he's playing. He's like, Beetle knows. She can see I'm scared. I don't want to take this shot. Everyone can see I'm scared.
It's like, why would I even bother? You know what? Go down in flames, man. I take ugly shots. Take all the shots. Take 20 ugly shots, and you wouldn't be hearing it as badly as you are this morning. And it ain't going anywhere. And the problem is like we see Wemby do what he does in the off season. Chet can't even do that now. Like Chet can't go work out with monks because we'll just make fun of that as well. Like he is in a bad.
The monks are off limits.
The monks are not going to work with Chet. Let's keep it real. The monks have chosen the right side. We know.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Will the monks allow Chet to work with them?
What if we go Catholic monks? We leave the other monks somewhere else. We go with Catholic monks.
You know about them Catholic monks?
The religious factor.
She's going to be laughing. Listen to that laugh. You're going to be hearing it for the next 10 years. Thank you, Michelle. Nice seeing you.
Thanks, guys.
Do you like breathing hot neck on the neck of hot?
Wow. Are you turned on?
Do you like
Dangling.
breathing hot neck?
What's going on here?
Do you like
Sexy.
breathing hot neck?
You have been dry humped many, many times.
Intimate.
You have been dry humped many, many times.
Little pelvic thrust situation.
I like that.
Have you ever consoled a naked man before?
What does it feel like to get dry humped?
I saw pee-pee.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Breathing hot neck.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
I saw pee-pee.
People out there, stop sending me pictures of the hotel rooms with the chair, okay? Stop sending those to me.
I like that. I like that.
He was naked,
Intimate.
dangling.
I would hold that thing really tight.
How would you do it?
What's going on here?
Do you like
Sexy.
breathing hot neck? Do you like breathing hot neck?
I've been dry humps.
You never know.
I've been dry humps.
Many, many times.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Have you ever consoled a naked
I've
man?
never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
You never know. I like that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Chris Cody and Roy revealed this to me. And Roy, I don't know the context of what it is that you guys were talking about that revealed this about Chris Cody.
Yeah, Chris asked me what the sound from the first down for the Dolphins games were. And I said
It's just a noise I've made throughout my entire life. It's just like I just did it. Hoo-wah!
Yeah.
And to me, that's another Miami Dolphins first down.
Well, let's find out.
Hoo-wah!
Let's find out if your dad knows, because he's not a real moviegoer. Instead of impersonating the sound, do you have the actual sound? Greg Cody, do you know who's making this sound?
I do.
Clark Gable. Come on.
It's the famous actor.
Rock Hudson.
Oh, this is great. He doesn't know it.
No, it's the famous actor. And I got to pin his name down because I don't think
You should be able to say this immediately.
I don't think it's Robert De Niro.
No.
But I think it's
in the
somebody
neighborhood.
In the neighborhood. Give me a second. Robert De Niro.
Humphrey
Al Pacino.
Hey, there you go.
If someone said that in his headphones, you're fired.
Now,
No,
what movie?
nobody said
What
that.
movie?
It's APEC. What movie?
Streetcar Named Desire.
You ain't you. No, you're not man enough to know the truth. Something like
No.
That's a few
That's
good
the one I
men,
bought.
and that's a few
brutal.
good men.
Good answer. Good answer.
And it's
That
not,
is
you're not
brutal.
man enough to know the truth. I
You
can't-
can't handle the truth.
Don't know.
That's it's a different movie. Pacino was not in
You're
it.
not man enough to know the truth.
That was originally a line. Nicholson ad-libbed. They
Put
kept
it on the poll
that
at
was
Le
Nicholson.
Batard Show. Was Pacino in A Few Good Men? Was a blind Pacino?
Okay, who did he say? Who
Attack on a hot tin roof.
Let's keep going. Let's see how long it takes you to get.
Play it again.
I think did he win an Oscar? I think
Yes.
he won an Oscar
Yes, he
for
won
this.
Best Actor.
Yes.
Bull Durham.
No.
Good answer. Good answer.
Put it on the
Raging
poll.
Bull. Raging
Put it on
Bull.
the poll.
Raging
No.
It's a bull movie.
Just naming De Niro movies.
Red Bull. I don't know.
Put it on the poll. Was a blind Pacino in Bull Durham?
Chicago Bull.
And put it on the poll as well. Was a blind Pacino in Raging Bull? First of all, it's a really random thing to have. I've told you guys before that DraftKings is the best partner we've ever had, and today's a big day for DraftKings. Available in all 50 states, everywhere. DraftKings is available, and you need to make sure that you have the app, which is very easy to use and is now available in all 50 states, no restrictions.
Super seamless now. I know over the last few years and months, there's all these other apps, DK predictions. Now the DraftKings Sports app recognizes which state that you're in, and it'll either take you to the sports book or the predictions, and you can get it all there. Seamless integration, very, very easy, all the same interface, very user-friendly.
Let's bring in Amin El-Hassan now. We'll do the weekend observations with him in a second, but play that sound again, and I want to see if he makes him wince in any way here, the Amin sound from a couple of weeks ago.
I think the Thunder are going to destroy them. Okay.
I love no selling that. He was wrong. Get over it. I think 2 weeks ago I said I've never been more certain in the eventual champion of both sports, Colorado and OKC.
How do you watch the last few minutes of that game? Are you actively rooting to be right? Just rooting for OKC to win because you want to be right on, not or less wrong, I should say, because you weren't going to be right. Okay,
He got
just
so
dropped.
mad at you there.
Yeah. We'll see if we bring
Put
him
up his
back
middle
in a little
finger and
while.
then
yeah.
left.
So that was a good appearance by Amin, one of his best yet. I
Efficient.
feel like we can learn some things from how quickly it is that Amin got in and out. Yes, Amin, go ahead.
Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah.
Just play the sound for him again.
I think the Thunder are going to destroy them. Yeah, I mean, things happened. Things changed. Two of their three ball handlers were injured for most of the series. Like, I don't understand. Like people act like I'm supposed to be like a cleric who can just see into the future. First of all, hats off to the Spurs. Incredible series, well played, well coached, and the effort was phenomenal from everyone not named Wemby. I know everyone wants to focus on Wemby. There were great contributions across the board for that team. So hats off to them. They deserve to win that series. But it's undeniable that the tenor of the series shifts when you don't have two guys who are the main ball handling responsibilities outside of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Remember, Dan, a few years ago, we questioned the Thunders like, oh, what's going to happen in the playoffs when everything focuses on Shai? They don't have anyone else who can create for them. Well, it turned out the other person who could create for him was Jalen Williams, and that they led that to a championship. How many left-handed layups did he make in last year's playoffs? But when you take him off the board and you take A.J. Mitchell off the board, now it's just Shai. And you saw how San Antonio was able to guard him, loading up 1-2 people on him, and then Wemby's behind that. And, at that point, it becomes a very difficult proposition indeed. I have no qualms about what I said.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Now it's just Shai? You're the two-time MVP. Now it's just Shai. Like, what do you...
Wait a second. Dan, are we talking basketball or are we talking hot takes? You want to do hot takes? He had 35 and 9 in a closeout game. I don't think anyone looked at that game and said, oh, Shai, you need to be better. Nobody said that. So don't talk to me about two-time MVP because you're just yelling out hot takes. The reality is basketball is a game of strategy, and it's a game of 5 guys on the floor. And if you have one guy who's the ball handler and there's nobody else who can reliably bring the ball up against that kind of pressure, which, again, hats off to the Spurs. Vassell, Johnson, Castle, those guys were absolute dogs, putting pressure on the Oklahoma City ball handlers. But once you take those other two guys off the board, Shea has to do everything, and he did. And they had a chance to win that game, by the way. Like, it's not like, oh, my God, Shea did disappear. Now, if you want to have a conversation about Chet Holmgren, I'm here for it. But I don't know anyone today or yesterday or at any point this weekend said, "Ooh, Shea, I thought you were the two-time MVP. I guess I was wrong."
No, I'm just saying that now it's just Shea at home in a Game 7. You're the two-time MVP. And I was saying all of last week, man, that Spurs bench, not as deep. They don't go as deep. They keep playing these long series, these long games. They're going to be tired by the end of the series. Like, now it's just Shea. That's supposed to be enough. You're the two-time MVP and you're the defending champion. I understand that you're 71-14 against everybody but the Spurs.
He had 35-9 in a closeout game, and they were guarding him with 2 on the ball and Wemby, the third guy behind him. I don't know who in the universe is capable of doing better than that. Like, if he was 2 of 17, he only had 12 points. I hear what you're saying, Dan. You're the two-time MVP. You're supposed to make it happen. He had 35-9, and the game was in question until basically the last minute and a half.
Played 44 minutes too, so it's like not like he played 27 minutes and he did this. It's like 44 minutes, and when he wasn't in the game, it was like, oh my God, what is happening here offensively?
Yeah, I mean, Dan's yelling, "You're the two-time MVP." I'm like, yeah, and he played like a two-time MVP. I don't know anyone other than you, Dan, honestly, who's sitting here today and being like, "Oh, I thought Shea should have done more." You're at home. No one's saying that about Shea.
I'm not actually saying that Shea should have done more. I'm saying you're the defending champion Thunder, and you're saying now it's just Shea. And I'm like, they went 10 deep all season. Like
Dan, you have a pretty nice car, right?
Yeah.
You got a nice car, yes?
Yes.
Nice stereo system, the top drops, all that stuff. If your stereo didn't work for whatever reason, could you still drive your car?
Well, no, look, I took an Uber today that smelled like feet because I had a flat tire. I couldn't drive my car because it had a flat tire.
But you have a luxury car, Dan. What do you mean? What do you mean a flat tire? Yeah, exactly. That's the point. It's like, hey, this thing can be a massive machine that's capable of winning incredible amounts of basketball games. But if we remove wheels, that's a problem. That's a problem. A.J. Mitchell and Jalen Williams, it could have been any other two guys or just one of those guys and maybe someone else. And I think the Thunder depth and all that would have kicked in. But when you talk about, hey, these are the only other two guys that do this thing, dribble and create for other people, it becomes problematic. And even with that, this is the thing, even with that, they still had a chance to win the game in the series. They could have won in 6. They could have won in 7. They didn't because the Spurs were awesome. I don't want anyone to be like, oh, look at him, you could never admit he's wrong. The Spurs were amazing. They won. They did it. Congrats to them. I'm just saying that does have an impact. And if you pretend like it doesn't, then we're just doing hot take basketball.
Let's briefly change the energy. I'm sure Dan will get us back to fighting in a little bit. But this is a great NBA Finals. I mean, you've been a caretaker for this sport, and I think this is a fantastic final because the one valid criticism is from the casual NBA sports fan is like, why aren't these guys playing? They don't seem to care. And that is not at all an issue with Wemby. It was really the great miscalculation I made when he entered the league. I thought everybody was going to hate this guy, but he's a joy to be around. He's a joy to watch. He cares so much about this sport. And the energy in Madison Square Garden, that's going to be full of people that care. So how pumped are you for this final just from an emotional perspective?
Yeah, from a business and marketing standpoint, this is the NBA's dream, right? In the East, you have the Knicks, who have the largest fan base in the nation outside of the Lakers, pretty much. You know, people are talking about, oh my God, the Knicks fans travel so much. Shout out to Jason Jackson, who said, no, they don't. They're already there. Like every city in America has a bunch of people from New York who are not ashamed of letting you know how much better New York is at everything, right? So they don't have to have like zip codes or area codes to keep them away. They're already living in all of these towns. They're embedded cells. So you have the Knicks, who have this, it's almost tantric drought of success, right, in terms of a championship, waiting to explode, right? And on the other hand, you have the most marketable name and face in basketball right now in Victor Wembanyama. This is when LeBron and Steph are gone, we're going to be like, we're fine, because this guy, just by virtue of being freakishly tall, brings attention. The number of people I've talked to in the last few days where it's like, my mom never cares about basketball, but she keeps asking about Victor Wembanyama. Like, that's pretty insane. That's exactly what every sport is looking for. We're looking for that name and face that can crack through to the casual fan who otherwise wouldn't care. And so in many ways, even better than the Thunder repeating, you have Victor Wembanyama. As far as him caring, I heard Jeremy say this earlier. Other guys care too. It's just, you know what it is about Wemby? He doesn't mind letting you know he cares. And that's the big difference, because there are a lot of guys who care immensely, but they act too cool for school. Remember a few years ago, Nikola Jokic win the championship. We got the parade on Monday. Oh, we have to go parade. I want my horse. Like, he cared, obviously. He cared deeply and immensely, but he wants to project this, oh, I don't really care. I just want to ride more horses kind of thing. And I said at the time, I said, yo, when you're a superstar, it is your responsibility to sell this game. That is part and parcel of the benefits of being a superstar, is you have to sell this game. I didn't think Jokic did a good job of it 3 years ago. I think Wemby does an amazing job of selling our game.
Dan, how much you think the get-in price is? Game 3, Madison Square Garden, first finals back in New York City since 1999. Get-in price for Game 3 at the Garden.
I mean, just to get into the...
Yeah, like worst ticket, worst seat, lowest price.
$500?
500?
That's how you play the game. $4,500. $4,500 is the get-in price.
500, huh?
Don't ask me about the price of a milk gallon. I'd guess $35.
I'm playing the game the way I wanted Stugotz to play it. I find Zaz is playing the game correctly.
All right, now he's going to talk about us again.
The price to get into San Antonio Game 1.
$500.
Closer.
There you go.
$1,200. So, if you're a Knicks fan, don't you have to get on a plane, get a hotel, and go to Game 1 in San Antonio? Be half the price for the ticket in New York, right? You have to get on a plane and go to Game 1 in San Antonio, right?
No. I don't. You're going to get on a plane so that you can be in the worst possible seats. You're going to have terrible seats that are going to be worse than watching it on television.
Well, if you want to go to a game, like
Yeah,
if you're
but-
resigned to watch it on TV,
No,
fine.
but you don't want to go to a game and then be surrounded by San Antonio. You want to go to a game and be surrounded by New York.
Who the hell can afford $4,500 get-in price?
I think he's just making the point that you can fly to San Antonio
And hotel.
get a ticket, and it's less than just the get-in
He is
price
making
at
that
the
point,
Knicks.
but he's
Less, it's
asking.
half the
But he
price.
was also asking me, should Knicks fans do that? And the answer is no.
Yeah, that's a financial price of going to San Antonio, but the emotional price, the toll that takes.
We're going to do weekend observations with Amin in a second, but I want to ask him a couple of basketball questions first. What do you make of Zach Lowe saying of Stephon Castle, quote, he's a meaner, more aggressive Dwayne Wade?
He's mad at you again.
Yeah, he abandoned
No,
us.
I am also speechless.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to say.
It felt like a crazy thing to say.
Meaner and more aggressive Dwayne Wade.
To
What
be
are we
fair,
doing?
that was off the heels of him trying to think of another player, and he really couldn't. So then he's like, Bill Simmons kind of was like, is he like kind of D-Wade but like stronger?
All
and
right,
bigger?
Amin was angry at you, but now he's back.
A meaner, more aggressive Dwayne Wade, Zach Lowe says of Stephon Castle. Your thoughts there?
More aggressive than Dwayne. Dwayne Wade was like averaging 25 as a rookie, wasn't he? Like, I can't imagine.
No,
Dwayne,
he
someone
wasn't. He
being-
wasn't averaging that, but it's a comp. He's basically saying better than a first ballot, obvious Hall of Famer, one of the best shooting guards to ever play.
I wouldn't put it in those terms, but I know Zach, so I'm trying to give Zach the benefit of the doubt of what he's thinking about. I think Dwayne Wade was pretty mean and aggressive.
Yes.
Maybe I have this wrong. So like it's a weird comp because you kind of would want to use a comp for someone who wasn't as aggressive, right? If we were talking about, like, for instance, if Castle were a big, or say he's a meaner, more aggressive Chris Bosh, first ballot Hall of Famer, awesome. But I think we would all understand, yeah, Bosh was sometimes like a little too nice out there. You know, he didn't have that kind of nasty streak. But like Dwayne Wade, I don't think about that about him at all.
Who's the comp? Who's the comp? Where would you go with the comp?
I mean, like D Wade is a nice comp for sure. I wouldn't put meaner or aggressive. I'd put taller. That's what I would put. But, you know, he's an incredible on-ball defender. He's great slashing. He's great in the mid-range. His one weakness is he's not a good three-point shooter, and I guess that's where the Wade comp comes in. He moves great off the ball, like Wade. I like the Wade comp. I just wouldn't put the other adjectives in there.
Chet Holmgren.
Oof.
Yeah. So,
Oof.
do you change your team if you're OKC? And do you agree with my assessment? It doesn't sound like it if you say their 2 ball handlers were out. Do you agree with my assessment that the Spurs have passed OKC, given that the Thunder were 101? I'm sorry, the Thunder were 71-14 against the rest of the league and 4-8 against the Spurs. I don't think they can beat the Spurs if the Spurs are going to continue to get better with the core they already have.
I mean, I think it's a very even matched proposition. I think, and the thing about the Thunder you got to remember is they always have guys that we don't know about because they just haven't been playing, but they might be down the line. So AJ Mitchell, for example, if we had this conversation a year ago, none of us would be saying, well, AJ Mitchell hasn't been playing. Like, who? And then this year, now it's a problem that he can't play. And so I don't think the gap is like so large or even getting bigger enough to say that, oh yeah, it's done. I think the bigger problem with the Spurs is that, with the Thunder, they have a lot of financial issues coming up. Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren's extensions kick in this upcoming season, and then Hartenstein and Lou Dort are both on team options. So they're going to have to be changes financially because otherwise Oklahoma City is going to have the highest payroll in the league, and we know that's something that they've never really embraced as far as spending money. That's also why they have a great development system. The Spurs, on the other hand, are set up beautifully because all of their guys are cascading. Like Wemby doesn't get even an extension until this summer, and then it's another year before Castle, and then another year before Harper. And so they've got this thing on subsidy for at least the next 3 to 5 years.
Like, Dan, when you say that the Spurs have passed the Thunder, does that mean the Thunder can't beat them? They play again next season. Like, they can't beat them?
No, just they were the defending champions. They've got a Wemby problem, and I think that the Spurs' 3 players are so young that all 3 of them are going to get appreciably better in the way that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander isn't. That the 3 guys, their core of 3 young guys, have another step to take. OKC has some of that, not as much as the Spurs do, and so I think they've got a structural flaw in that. And I know this is one game, right? They lost 1 Game 7 at home. They're the defending champions. But I just think that Presti is smart, and I'll ask Amin here. Do you think he goes after Giannis? Because it's not something I would have said before the series, but it is something I'll say now.
I agree with you. That's something that I didn't really imagine because Giannis is so much older than the rest of the roster. You know, like Shai is the old guy at 28, and then you got Williams is 25, and Holmgren is 24, and Dort is 27. Like all those guys are around the same age, and then Giannis is a guy who's 30 plus. It would seem, and also expensive right now. Look, the way I saw Chet Holmgren scared in that game, I've never seen an NBA player scared like this. So tall Jalen Williams is trying to feed him at one point in the fourth quarter, and he's like pump faking the pass because Chet wouldn't make eye contact. He literally he was worried that if I make eye contact, he's gonna throw me the ball. I just don't want the ball. Let me just stand over here. I'll set the screen or whatever. I've never seen an NBA player so terrified of getting the ball he wouldn't make eye contact in order to get a pass. Every time he dribbled at Wembanyama, he seemed to lose his balance and fall. Again, presumably out of fear. And then making matters worse, when Wemby wasn't even in the game, you would think, okay, now he'd feel comfortable. He was letting Keldon Johnson and Devin, so guys much smaller than him, eat his lunch, grab rebounds from him, like block him at the rim. And so at some point, I'm thinking, wait a second, man. Like, is there some psychological thing that's bigger than just I had a bad game? Is this your Ben Simmons moment? Because remember, Ben Simmons was on his way, and then Game 7, it's Trae Young under the rim, and he passes it, and we're like, what the hell? And so, to me, as a crossroads for Chet Holmgren this summer is either this is a deep psychological wound that I will never recover from, like Ben Simmons, or this is the thing that makes me stronger, and I come back next year a monster. And so what Sam Presti has to weigh is, if I trade this guy, am I trading away a 24-year-old perfect complement to my superstar because I'm worried about basically his mental makeup?
We're going to get to Amin's weekend observations in a second, but the last time I felt what I felt watching an NBA game as I watched Chet Holmgren was the last 5 minutes of Game 6. Miami is about to lose the championship to Dallas, and LeBron is passing the ball 1,000 miles an hour around the perimeter because he knows that we're all watching him, and we all know that he was scared and failed and needed to develop a post-up game. But the problem with that is LeBron went, suffered, and then came back better. Chet Holmgren's not going to come back better enough to not be scared of Wemby.
We don't know that, Dan. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, we're all playing armchair psychologists, saying like, "Oh, he looks scared out there." We don't know, but I think with every player, every person, really, we all have failures, and at that moment, we have the opportunity. We should give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, look, you failed. What are you going to do about it? And some people come back better as a result, like LeBron did. Right? He took it to heart and he expanded his game. And some people just kind of crumble under that, like Ben Simmons. He just never was the same. He couldn't even go back to being the regular Ben Simmons, let alone get better. And so for Chet, regardless of whether he denies it, he says, "Oh, I think I have room for improvement." I'm like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. But it's at the end of the day, for him, either this is going to be a moment in time where he's going to build off of it, or he's going to crumble against or under the immense weight of expectation.
It is time for to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy.
Weekend Observations is brought to you by Miller Lite. Legendary moments start with a light. Dan, it's over. Pack it all in. There's no use anymore. He's too big. His defense is impregnable. It's Luke Cornett's world, and we're all just living in it. LeBron on Andre Iguodala. Tayshaun Prince on Reggie Miller. D. Wade on Carmelo Anthony. LeBron on Thiago Splitter. And now we have Luke Cornett on Isaiah Hartenstein.
Let's play the game.
That saved the game and saved the series for them because they were crumbling. All that stuff I was talking about, poise, and they were crumbling. They were doing the young guy thing of panicking. That turnover happens. Hartenstein's going coast to coast, and we're like, here it goes. Here we go. Oh, it's going to be an N1. And nope. Cornette gets in there, probably offensive foul, if anything, because Hartenstein's trying to wave him off. And that block was amazing. Keldon Johnson and Lou Dort had a contest to see who could shoot their team out of the playoffs. Lou Dort won. Get it? Because he shot his team out. Chet Holmgren.
He was shooting from far away, yes. Every time he shot, I said, don't shoot that. Don't. That's not going in.
Same thing for Keldon Johnson until those 2 threes in the fourth quarter. I was like, oh, this guy. Chet Holmgren, witness protection. Chet Holmgren, milk carton. Chet Holmgren said in his exit interviews that he could have gotten more attempts up and that's an area to improve. That's like Jeffrey Dahmer saying I could have had a better diet. Is my internet working or not?
Yes.
Okay. I heard Spurs head coach Mitch Johnson.
Oh, damn it.
Sin.
As soon as he asked, it goes down.
I can continue if you want.
You're going to just do it for him? Yeah, go ahead and do it. You have his notes. Just you can do both. Hit the.
I got it. Okay. I'm back.
All right.
I heard Spurs head coach Mitch Johnson clear his throat in the post-game presser. Somehow it got worse. Mitch Johnson sounds like Doc Rivers doing a Doc Rivers impersonation. Hey, Wemby. I can't even do it. Oh, my God.
Put it on the poll at
Dylan
Le Batard Show. I'm sorry. I mean, go ahead.
Put it on the poll. Why not?
Yeah, you got that? You got that poll? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Amin. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Amin. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes or no?
Dylan Harper is the truth. Kaysen Wallace went out like a real one. French Open. That's Wemby anytime the ball's thrown in 3 feet over the rim. French Open. Francis Tiafoe putting clowns in their place. Coco Gauff struggled and lost in the third round. Coco off. She's not on anymore.
Yeah.
New season of Bar Rescue. We got you covered at Here's the Science of Bar Rescue podcast. Hosted by real-life bar restaurant consultant Chelsea Reynolds. Commercial kitchen and food truck vet Colin Cassard. And two guys who, I don't know, just me and Zach. Whoever you get podcasts. Speaking of two guys, Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart. said they ironed out their differences. How? It's like, oh, we had a conversation. Like, what?
Really?
PSG save the world from insufferable Arsenal summer. Ici c'est Paris. Can PSG save us from insufferable Knicks summer? Because I think that one might be impending. Oh, it's like hell. Speaking of hell, why does Sedano have a plate of pretzels at the spa? It's like 2 glasses of champagne. Okay, all right. There's, what is that? Some tea, got it, lemon slices. And then there's pretzels, a bowl of pretzels. The hell, Sedano? Those are the weekend observations.
The reason that I bailed on the poll is because I couldn't quite remember whether you had said, was Mitch Johnson, did he sound like Doc Rivers doing a Doc Rivers impersonation? That's what you said?
That's right.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Does Mitch Johnson sound like Doc Rivers doing a Doc Rivers impersonation? Can you guys get for me the sound of an uncomfortable Jackson Dart showing us all that he wasn't quite ready for what it is?
Who, the New York media got him?
It looked like it. He seemed a little nervous. It was a lot of prepared statement. I've got to salute him for really looking like a quarterback. He looks unbelievably like a quarterback, but he was clearly nervous. And listen to what he said. That was very carefully structured. And thankfully, he met with everyone he needed to meet with so that Abdul Carter and he no longer have any differences.
Jackson, respectfully, do you understand why introducing that president would be something that some of your teammates would have a problem with, and why it's viewed as controversial?
Okay, I respect the question. I understand the question. My statements all that I have for you guys right now, and that's where I'm at.
Do you think you made a mistake?
I just gave my statement, so ask that we can all respect and understand that that's where I'm at right now.
New York media didn't have to do it. He caved with those questions. Like he didn't have anything. He just couldn't do anything after the statement. I'm going to be out here scared as Chet Holmgren. I'm going to just read what they told me to say, and then I'm not confident enough to say anything else here that's not going to get me in trouble. That's what that was. That's crazy. I mean, that's like you have all weekend to prepare, and you can't get out a sentence on what you believe that you're not scared of?
Well, Dan, I don't know if you read Abdul Carter's statement, and it's very, very obvious that the same person wrote both of those statements, and that same person would be someone in the Giants PR department. These are young guys, young players, only a couple of years in the league. What obviously happened is they told him, hey, we got to get past this, da-da-da. This is the statement, stick to the statement, don't say anything else. I don't think this is him scared of the question so much as he's been instructed very directly how to handle this situation.
Because he's scared of the question. And here's Abdul Carter not quite being the same kind of scared.
So first off, I want to say that some things are bigger than football, and this is one of those things. Jackson is one of our leaders. He's the face of our franchise. He not only represents himself and what he does, but he represents all of us. And that goes for anybody who wears a Giants uniform. But if he chooses to align himself with a man like President Trump, it's my responsibility, based on what I believe and what I stand on, to not only show my teammates that I'm against that, but to show the world. And that doesn't mean that we have to spread hate. It doesn't mean that me and Jackson hate each other or we have beef. I sit next to Jackson every day. Every team meeting, we close, we talk. And we just, as long as we make sure we got the same goal as a team and our goals align, which they do, and I feel like that's all that matters.
That sounded scared to you?
I mean, he said it with a little bit more bass in his voice, but it's the same thing. It's like, hey, we talked. And it's like, I know this guy. I've known him for almost 2 years. I know what he represents. I know our goals align. Just because we have a disagreement doesn't mean that there's something more than that. It's just a disagreement. And Dart said, we just talked. Me and Abdul came here at the same time. We shared a lot of similar experiences. Like they're saying the same talking points. They said they put it behind them. But I asked that in the weekend observations. I was being serious. How? Because that doesn't seem like something that's pretty simple. It's not like, hey, I voted for so-and-so. It's like, no, I introduced this dude on stage, man. That's another level of like 10 toes down into this, cult, I guess. And so to me, it's kind of difficult to understand how they're like, oh, let's just be friends. I don't know how that happens, but kudos to them. I'm a Giants fan, so obviously I want the team to do well. So if they can put it behind them and play well, I guess that's got to be good enough for me.
I thought Abdul Carter also had probably a better moment when he's like, he can say what he wants, but when I do, that can't be an issue. Taking aim at some of his recent detractors. I was satisfied with the pound of flesh. Like, okay, Jackson, you welcome that in. Go ahead and tout the great city of New Jersey and show everybody your ass during this speech. But when it was all over, I was more than satisfied and realized this was all super silly because we're talking about Jackson Dart and Abdul Carter more than the chairman and co-owner emailing with Jeffrey Epstein directly about, quote, working girls.
Thank you, Amin. Good seeing you. I'm sorry your prediction was so wrong. Shea shot 28% from the series for the series from 3, 40% from the field. That's not very good.
35-9 in a closeout game.
I can't believe you're using counting stats though. He was 28% from 3. From 3, 28%.
Dan, I have to use counting stats because I don't know what you're watching. If you watch that game 7, I'm like, oof. Tough one from
No,
Shea.
I just object to the idea.
I have to use counting stats. Counting stats is the language of the layperson. I could sit here and break down how their offense worked and how the defense was loading up and how all these different schemes and stuff and how a secondary ball handler would have really helped in a situation like this. But I don't know if you're going to understand or even pay attention to all that. So I have to go to a counting stat because you went with a counting stat. Say two-time MVP. All right, 35-9 games.
I just gave you 40% from the field for the series, 28% from 3. Those are percentage points that are 10% lower than his regular season averages. Actually, a lot. He shot 55% from the field from 3. I'm not actually being.
Make other people fight. We're never in this.
I'm not actually being critical of Shea here. I was critical of the idea that you're saying, and now all they had left was the 2-time MVP. That's what I'm mocking.
I'm just saying, like, again, given the responsibility of creation of plays, you kind of need someone else. Otherwise, the defense that the Spurs ran will work incredibly. It's the reason, by the way, the Knicks are so much better because they used to be give it to Brunson, and then Brunson does everything, and everyone else just stand in a corner and wait. And that works. That can win you 60 games, and that can win you a couple rounds of the playoffs. But at some point, you're going to run into someone who's going to run a defense that's going to exploit that, right? And what changed the Knicks dramatically from the years that they've played, and even this season, was Mike Brown bringing those Golden State-esque offensive sets where they're running the ball through Cat out the high post, and Brunson is now off ball, and it makes it so much harder to guard, right? That's why you do it, because if you just give it to one guy and say, just save us, you're in MVP, right? At some point, the defense is just too good. The Spurs defense is elite as is. If you run just this guy's going to dribble into them and make things happen, that's not going to be good enough, and it wasn't good enough in this series. And to me, that's the story. And I have no problem. I'm not losing sleep. Oh, my God, I thought the Thunder. Not losing sleep. I understand how basketball works. And, like, that is a very logical reason for why the game ended the way it did.
See you later, buddy.
All right.
He hit me with a dog.
Mm-hmm. He got caught in the middle. He was trying to say Dan, and then he said,
I think you deserved it. I think he said it with bass in his voice for a reason. He knew he could school you and then let you off the hook.
What?
He knew he could school you with his basketball knowledge.
Defensive schemes.
Said dog, and then went, you know what? Let me back up. And he let you off the hook rather than just doing it. He said, Dan, I could do this, but I'm not going to.
So I was schooled. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show.
Could have been schooled.
Was Dan about to be schooled at Le Batard Show? You're
not going to like that result.
No shit.
Dog.
Sherlock. No shit, Sherlock. Can you guys tell me why it's Sherlock? Is that the only sh that we have in terms of names that you can go to when he said no shit, Sherlock? You can't go to Shy. You can't. It's got to be
Well,
there's Shirley, but don't call me Shirley.
It's because he was a famous investigator. Oh. Yeah. Like, you say that when someone says something pretty obvious and you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is why that happens. That ignorant of me another time.
No shit, Shea would be weird.
Yeah, that's right.
You know about that layperson?
Going back to what it is that we were discussing with Donald Trump and what is now falling apart on July 4th, a musical celebration in which all of the musical acts were told what it was and then started dropping out. Can you guys tell me what musical acts are remaining? Because I have read only a little bit about this celebration, and the one thing that I read I simply didn't understand, which is, Milli Vanilli was supposed to perform. And this was confusing to me on a number of fronts. If you don't know who Milli Vanilli is, they were a couple of guys, I think they were from England, and they couldn't sing at all. They were bad singers, but they looked good, and so they were busted for lip syncing. They didn't have singing talent, or not great singing talent. And
should we give this Grammy back now?
And so one of them, though, when they said Milli Vanilli was performing at this, one of the members of Milli Vanilli committed suicide, at least in part, it was reported, because of the shame involved with it was fairly scandalous that they had hit songs and they weren't singing them and they were lip syncing. So when you say Milli Vanilli is performing at that celebration, given that one of the members, I don't know whether it was Milli or Vanilli, one of the members is not alive to sing anymore, how was that going to happen? Even if I think also Milli Vanilli has now dropped out, so I don't know whether it was Milli or Vanilli.
There isn't a Leonard and a Skinnerd. The name was Milli Vanilli.
I was doing that for comedic effect. I thought it would be funny to keep wondering whether it was Milli or Vanilli that was still going to perform, but it doesn't answer my question.
There was a lot of these legacy acts where there's like one surviving member. I saw the dance act Lime. I don't think either of those two people were the originals.
I think I saw Boys to Men one time in the Bahamas, and it was just one. It was just one of them, so it wasn't even men.
Which one?
I don't know.
It was actually two. No, it was Boys to Men. It was the member two.
Hey, see that?
Boy to man.
I still want an answer to my question, which is, how does Milli Vanilli perform today? Was it
the surviving member sings now?
Oh,
he doesn't lip sync anymore. Like there was a whole. It was one of the famous episodes of VH1's Behind the Music, and there was a whole redemption arc to them trying to get in the studio, perform together, and perform live. And the surviving member has his spin on it. It doesn't sound like the original, but it's still, the same choreography, and obviously only one of them is still around, but he performs the hits that they had.
And then also sings with one of the female vocalists who originally backed the lip syncing. So that's how you end up with Milli Vanilli.
What acts haven't dropped out?
To the best of my knowledge, Vanilla Ice, Flo Rida, and CNC Music Factory, which I don't believe is a music factory. From what I saw, it's just one guy. And he went to Facebook and did like a 30-minute rant from what was very clearly his toilet.
I saw here, People magazine says that Donald Trump is now the headliner for the Freedom 250 Festival.
He's going to sing?
I read his statement. He's like, I'm getting an act that's bigger than Elvis. I will headline.
What's the set list there? What is he doing? A lot of boss, right?
He's going to headline?
Yeah, he's headlining.
Wait, just him and Vanilla Ice are going to be out there, and one member of Vanilli.
Oh, as long as the check is cash and Flo Rida will still do it. Nick, before we let you talk about the Steelers, you're in luck because we have the Love Doctor. The Love Doctor is here. He is ready. He is in his office right now. Dr. Greg Cody getting everybody ready for Mother's Day this weekend. And we have questions. The Love Doctor is going to have the answers. Who's up first?
I know a lot of people are going to come to you and they're going to want to know, how do you keep it interesting? Me, I'm not interested in interesting. So how do you keep it predictable? How do you keep it ho-hum? How do you just let it just be?
Was that Jason Tatum asking that question?
Young lady, you are my kind of gal. That's my lane. That's my lane of romance. I invented predictable. Nobody has perfected the art of dull routine like yours truly. As a matter of fact, little inside information here, my wife and I schedule our naughty time months in advance, like doctor's appointments. Quite often, she'll have to cancel because she said something came up. Unfortunately, sometimes I'll have to cancel because something didn't come up. That kind of thing.
It's a good look for us.
Do we have another question for the Love Doctor here after such great advice?
With Chris listening.
Oh, we're doing it, baby.
What are you guys doing, man?
Oh, you want question number 2?
Yeah, let's go question number 2.
Oh, yeah, Greg. Hey, man, I need your help, man. So I'm out of town for Mother's Day, trying to figure out what can I get my girl for Mother's Day in another city.
Oh, wow. Buddy, I'm worried about this. Not one, but 2 of the Love Doctor's marriages began rending like cheap fabric when Greg was either out of town at a sporting event or away at a doctoral conference. And the exes were doing the clandestine bumpy bump behind my back. Jack, I suggest you get your girl, which you'd never expect, a private eye to keep an eye on her randy ass.
You know about that randy ass, Nick?
I don't like this at all.
Thank you, Love Doctor. Don't go anywhere. We may go back to you. Appreciate you.
I don't like this at all.
Somehow, the least embarrassing Cody on today's show.
Wait till Nick finds out that Chris, with Greg sitting nearby, admitted about a half an hour ago that when he's having a hard time becoming aroused, he thinks of his wife's twin sister to get in the mood.
It was a shocking revelation.
That's what happened, Nick.
Shocking.
That happened.
Yeah, he did.
No, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He did.
It was shocking.
Unnecessary, also.
I don't like. This isn't. Again, I might need a mean here. This isn't kayfabe. Kayfabe?
Kayfabe.
Which is it? I don't know.
Kayfabe,
Thank
wrestling
you.
nerd here at your service.
This isn't.
Zaz could have
Thanks,
helped
Mike Ryan. This isn't kayfabe. I don't like this at all. And I would appreciate if you guys turned the music off. This is not great.
So the Steelers.
Are you ready to do your catchphrases? I heard there's some controversy around the. It's the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody. He is counting down his top 50 catchphrases of all time. It has been a successful months-long joke. What is the controversy surrounding your catchphrase list? What is the issue?
It's big. The controversy is that based on quality demand, the catchphrase countdown has suddenly increased from a top 50 to a top 60.
What?
That's
What?
right. And it's controversial.
Of course it is. You told us it was a top 50, and we told you. We told you it was. We told you it was something you were making up as you went along, and that you weren't going to get the numbers right. And now you just changed
He
it.
botched it to such a degree that there are so many good ones left that we're just pushing all
I
the
knew
current
that was
ones
going to
back.
happen, though. That's exactly what we were saying.
Your brain beating me.
How did this happen? What was the ruling? What did the committee get together and decide? How did it happen that it got expanded? Now, no one's going to complain about this because more catchphrases is great, but we told you this was going to happen, and we told you this was a sloppy list by you.
The others, they all learn from me.
Yeah, right.
No, I looked at all the catchphrases remaining, and there was only 14 left, but there were like 20-something good ones. So I'm like,
thank you.
Let's go.
So wait a minute. So how did you do it though? Are there now is there now a new list 50 to 60 or
No,
what are you doing?
everything that's been said is just like what was 50 is now 60.
Yes.
There were 14
Wow.
left, and now there's 24
So we're
left.
not in the top 20
No,
anymore?
now we're at 23
we were
and
in the top
24.
20 of the countdown, and now we're at 24?
I'm telling you, they're bangers, though. There are just bangers
There
left.
is nobody that's actually upset about this development. Come on.
You've got to honor the list,
I'm
though.
telling you, I got a peek. I don't know the exact order, but I got a peek of what the top 10 looks like, and it is just banger after
Yeah,
banger.
Yeti hated it. He's against it.
Yeti thinks that we should just make him live with the world he gave us.
Should.
Like,
I mean,
there's-
I asked you several times throughout this whole process. Have you thought this out? Have you planned out the list? You know that there are 50. You kept assuring me that you have it all under control.
Driver comfort is paramount.
He ain't wrong. You know, part of the beauty of me is a bit of serendipity, a bit of
You're the kind of guy.
unpredictability. And so the same is true with this list. Okay, whenever you do a countdown, Zaz, bank this information for your future. Whenever you do any
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Stu Holden is going to join us here in a little bit. U.S. men national team midfielder from a while ago. He's the Fox Sports soccer coverage match analyst, and we're about 10 days from the World Cup. Snuck up on us a little bit. It seems like just a few days ago people were saying we're 100 days from the World Cup. We'll get to some of that in a second. But Zaz has been bothering me, I'm going to say, for 4 days, wanting to show me a video of someone getting ticketed. So I don't know what this video is.
It's so good, Dan. It's so good.
Well, what is it?
So this took place in Palm Beach County a few months ago this took place. And it's just coming to light now because the woman who received the ticket was able to release the body cam footage because it was finally going to go to court. She was fighting this ticket, okay? And just, you know what? I'm gonna let it play out for you here, and maybe we can, talk over it for the audio audience.
Yeah, we can do that, but is this a visual joke? Will we be able to tell from the audio whatever it is that's interesting or good about this video?
That's why we will speak with it, okay, for the audio audience. Let's hit it. So we have the police officer walking up to the car.
Hey, good morning. I'm Deputy Gasol with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Recently, while you're being pulled over, the city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with your phone in your hand.
Not.
Oh my God.
So you want to just call this a day?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a hand up, manipulating.
She doesn't have a hand.
Well, I thought I saw you with your right hand. You
So
had a
you
hand
didn't.
up. The right hand. I saw you
So you
manipulate.
didn't.
With the right hand, perhaps not, right?
She shows the no hand again.
Okay, so
She has a nub.
I know what I just said. I know what I just said. I'm asking you now. Did you or not have your phone in your hand?
I did not.
You did not have your phone in your
I
hand?
did not.
Hand to God, you didn't have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
Hand to God, Dan.
Yeah, hand to God, you didn't have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
You have your driver's license, registration, and insurance with you.
That is an unbelievable video. That is comedically perfect. For those of you who are on only audio, she was showing him that she has half an arm. She does not have a hand, and if she went to court with this, she would not be able to raise her right hand and give only the truth in front of the Bible because she doesn't have a right hand.
And you would think the cop could come up and be like, I saw you holding your phone. But no, he's very specific. He said, I saw you holding your phone with your right hand. And she, like she's done this before, comedically lifts up the right arm to be like, you idiot.
She doesn't say, I don't have a right hand. She shows him, but he's just like us, so stubborn about admitting that he's wrong, that he's like, I saw it. You're going to deny that you had a phone in that hand? And she's not saying out
Hand to
loud,
God.
I don't have a hand. I don't have a hand.
She goes, we're good here then, right? Like right away. She's like, we're good.
You want to
here,
just
right?
call this a day?
All right, so just, I want to play this again.
Yeah, let's run it back.
For the audio audience and just have the knowledge that this woman is smiling and looking at the police officer. And when she rebuts him, what she does is she holds up half a right arm, which is the only amount of arm that she has on the right side of her body.
Hello, ma'am. Hey, good morning. I'm Deputy Gasol with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Recently, while you're being pulled over, the city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I saw you with your phone in your hand.
Not. So you want to just call this a day?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a hand up, manipulating
You just
the
said
phone.
my right hand.
Well, I thought I saw you with your right hand. You
So
had a
you
hand
didn't.
up. The right hand. I saw you
So you
manipulate.
didn't.
With the right hand, perhaps not, right? But I saw
But you didn't see it with my right
Okay,
hand.
so are you
saying that you saw me with my
I
right
know what
hand.
I just said. I know what I just said. I'm asking you now. Did you or not have your phone in your hand?
I did not.
You did not have your phone in your
I
hand?
did not.
Hand to God, you didn't have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
The other hand to God, you don't have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
Cool. You have your driver's license, registration,
Yes,
and
I
insurance?
do.
Cool. Tell the guest bookers to try to get her, please. I'd like to talk to her because she thrust her nub at him aggressively because twice he should have seen, like, look, I'm showing you. But then if she had a whole hand, that gesture might have come with a middle finger.
Right hand would have had a middle finger attached
No,
to
because
it.
she thrust.
She's done it before, dude. She knows how to comedically make someone feel like shit about her one arm.
She's done what before? Most people notice that she doesn't have her right hand and probably aren't going to point out that she doesn't have a right hand.
You called it a nub. We went through this before.
What do we call it?
It's a
Residual limb.
residual limb.
I'm
We
not
covered this in
calling it
HR.
that.
I will not call it a residual limb.
Crazy, Zaz.
H-Arg. All right, you know what? I'm going to watch this with Stu Holden. I'm just going to get his reaction to this video because have you seen this, Stu? Did you just see it?
I have seen it. I have seen it multiple times. It is it's enthralling content.
She still got the ticket.
That's wrong. That's so wrong.
But last week, because this video now went viral, the officer decided to drop the case.
That is such a stubborn police officer. I'm embarrassed on behalf of Hispanics for how stubbornly Hispanic a male that police officer
When I heard
was.
the accent, I was like, hey.
Hey, he like doubled down too. He didn't just instantly, be like, no, you're right. He went back and he's like, but I saw you with the right hand. She's like, no, physically I could not.
No, and then he says, hand to God.
Other hand.
So tell me what's going to happen. Thank you, Stu, for joining us. What is going to happen with the United States soccer team? Does that win over Senegal mean anything to you?
Oh, man, you guys really set me up with a heck of a transition there, huh? We're going from that to straight into the U.S. national team. Awesome. No, look, the U.S. team last night, we're back on track, all right? We got a good win against a top 15 world opponent, Senegal, the African champions. I think it's kind of the big question about this team in the United States is not do we have talent? We have some talented players. We have some players playing at the biggest clubs we've ever had before, but can we beat big teams? That's how you win a World Cup. Only 8 nations have ever won the World Cup. We're Americans. We're exceptionalists. We think we're the best at everything. We're not the best in the world at men's soccer yet. We're on the way up. And I think last night I feel a lot better this morning about our chances and getting out of the group and doing something that this country has never done before, which is, getting past the quarterfinal.
That's the best case, correct? The best case scenario is just getting out of the round, right?
Yeah, Dan, you make a great point. I feel like it's hard to contextualize that sometimes with people, and it's like, wait, so we're just happy getting to the quarterfinal or a semifinal? That's a good thing. It is a good thing. The World Cup has been going since 1930. Only 8 nations have ever won a World Cup. So you're talking about the very, very best of the best. And it's an elite club. It's Germany's, Argentina's, Spain, England's won it once back in '66. So this is a tournament that I think for us, it's about trying to do something we've never done before. We've only ever won one knockout game in our history. We have an easy group this year. And I wouldn't say easy. Okay. It's a favorable group. And home soil, home cooking is something we haven't had since '94 World Cup. And I think with that, I've been watching the scenes in New York with the Knicks being back in the finals for the first time since the 90s. You're seeing what that city's like, people celebrating on the streets. If the U.S. men start to pick up a little bit of momentum, this country is going to go nuts. I'm telling you, people are going to be out on the streets. They're going to be at watch parties at bars. They're going to be filling up restaurants. Something special could happen, but yet this team needs to win.
Fox has the World Cup this year. He's the lead match analyst. Since I've been covering the World Cup and U.S. soccer, we always have a good goalkeeper, a Premier League goalkeeper. How do we not have a goalkeeper? How do we not know who the goalkeeper is going to be?
Yeah, this is something, I don't know. We need an entire podcast devoted to this. Your audience might get a little bit bored after our first fifth minute on. We've always been known as we've had good goalkeepers. We weren't, we've improved so much on the outfield aspect, but yet it's always been Tim Howard's, Brad Friedel's, Casey Keller's, guys that have gone and played at the biggest clubs. And I always used to think we have so many youth sports that involve our hands, right? Football, basketball, baseball. And then we would peel off some of those athletes that would come and play soccer and just got thrown in goal because we had giant guys that were good with their hands. I think what you're seeing now is almost a transition of kids who are playing soccer and choosing soccer from a young age and maybe not specializing in soccer. And we've lost that elite goalkeeper. We just don't have it. Even yesterday in the game, Mauricio Pochettino, he played 2 different goalkeepers. We're 10 days from the start of the World Cup. We played 2 different goalkeepers. I think he might even play a 3rd goalkeeper in the game against Germany coming up, which is their send-off, which is all to say, even at this point, he still does not know who his best goalkeeper is. That's a problem. In soccer, you want to look behind you and you want to have the confidence and a feeling in a keeper that can make the big save, that commands the box, that puts fear into the opponents. And that's something we don't have, and we're not going to have this tournament. So the question is, can one of these guys whoever he ends up picking, step up and deliver. Because goalkeeper is not a position you change often throughout tournaments. Like that, if you pick a guy, that's your guy. And I don't even know right now. I couldn't even tell you who he's going to pick. I would have picked Matt Freese, and now he's played Matt Turner, and then this kid who made his debut yesterday, Chris Brady from the Chicago Fire. So it's anybody's guess who's going to start on day one.
Stu, compared to when North America was awarded this year's World Cup, where are we as a team compared to where we thought we were going to be?
Yeah, so we were awarded the World Cup 8 years ago back in Russia, and that was a World Cup that we did not qualify for the first time in 30 plus years. That was a huge moment in this country, a bit of a wake-up call of, wow, we think we're doing so great and we've made so many strides, and then boom, we didn't qualify for the World Cup. 2022, we took the second youngest team at the tournament. And a lot of the talk, which I didn't like at the time, was about this, golden generation, which was dubbed, because we wanted to believe in something. So we had this group of kids, and it was like, okay, this World Cup is the setup for 2026, but it's all about this tournament. This has been a huge moment in soccer circles in this country for years, because we feel like this is a moment that soccer can take the next step in this country. I just want to take you quickly back to 94. We didn't have a men's professional league. We didn't have a women's professional league. Now we've got multiple men's professional leagues, multiple women's professional leagues, valuations touching $1 billion on the men's side. Women's professional soccer is now 200 million plus if you want to get into the league. But yet I still think the expectations are similar for this team. And that's also a little bit of a problem. We've got to start developing elite players with the rest of the world. So we have a better team. And to answer your question, based on where I thought we might be 8 years ago, I thought this group of players from 4 years ago would have taken another step. And I would have been saying pretty confidently, I think we can get to a quarterfinal. But yet I'm still thinking, I don't know, is Weston McKennie and Pulisic and Balogun, Chris Richards, are they that much better? They're more mature. They've played more games, but are they better players? We're going to find out this summer. I think the answer is yes, but it's up to them to deliver in these types of moments. And we've got a coach that I think can get us over that line.
Pulisic came in riding pretty poor form for a club. He had a goal yesterday, his first goal since Shabuzi. He had the #1 song in America. He had the assist. he looked good yesterday. What are you expecting from Christian Pulisic in this World Cup?
Yeah, I love that. Look, this is one of the unique things about soccer is you play for your club and then you play for your country, but you don't play as often for your country. But when you play for your country, it's the biggest and the most important thing you can do. Look, representing my national team in a World Cup and standing there with my hand over my heart and the national anthems playing was the greatest honor I've had in my life. And I think about that, and this group of players does still have a unique ability that when you put that red, white, and blue on, Pulisic was coming in a career all-time drought, hadn't had a goal this entire calendar year. His last goal was December. He puts on the red, white, and blue. They played against Senegal. He's back with his boys, and he was like a man on fire from the first minute of that game. He delivered an assist in the 6th, scores a goal in the 23rd minute, and he looked back. I don't know if you saw his celebration. The guy goes running to the corner flag. He's air fisting, punching like. He looked like he needed that release. So I tell you what, that goal was more important for anything than him getting that goal, because this happened ahead of 2022. He was in a bad drought for his club, and then he put on the national team, and he was ready to go. So that gives me a better feeling about Pulisic. I wasn't sure what we were going to get from him this summer.
I'm surprised to hear you say that. A calendar year is not a drought, Stu. A calendar year without a goal, no goals since December.
That was big deal. Yeah, Dan, he was one of the best players in the league, and he had some stuff allegedly going on off the field, and we know how that can affect you on the field at times. But man, the pressure, the weight of expectation that he was feeling on a continual basis, I was worried about this guy. He's so up and down, but to see him get that one and almost bust the can out and come out and show that and remind U.S. fans, hold on a minute, I'm going to be the man this summer. That's a better sign. But yeah, you're right. That's not just he hasn't scored in 5 games. We're talking about 6.5 months of not scoring a goal.
What is the strongest thing and the weakest thing about the U.S. team?
So I think the strongest thing is that I love Mauricio Pochettino. A lot of headlines. He selected 10 defenders out of 26 guys, and that might on paper look like, wow, we're going to be super defensive team. I think it's also a recognition that, look, when we're playing Mexico, Panama, Honduras, Costa Rica, teams on this side of the pond, we can be the aggressor. We can be the protagonist against the best in the world. We just can't. And I think we have to level with the fact that the teams that we had in the past of, look, we're going to be hard to play against. We're going to be good defensively. We're going to punch you in the face when we get that chance, and we're going to score that goal. And I think that was a recognition that that can be the strength of this team, is that grittiness, that fight, that hunger to not give you an inch on the field. If we have that, that's going to be our strength. Our weakness, I think, is going to be the goalkeeping position. I'm still not sure we have a guy that in a game where we're under a lot of pressure that can deliver that big save.
We don't know who the keeper's going to be. We don't. That's asinine.
Exactly.
Do a lot of other teams have this problem? Do a lot of other countries have this problem? It's 10 days out. Who's our keeper?
No. There's not a single team at the World Cup other than us, I don't think, that has this big of a question over our goalkeeping position, except maybe Mexico, because they called back a guy that's 40-plus years old in Memo Ochoa, but I don't think he's going to start and play. It's a head scratcher, honestly.
Wait a second. They called Ochoa back? I know Ochoa.
What about Campos? Where's Campos?
That's basically the same thing. They're bringing back Jorge Campos of this generation. Memo Ochoa called him up off the beach. You're like, hey, man, you want to play in another World Cup? He's like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's
He threw a cigarette butt into the sand on the beach. Like,
hey, we should call back Tim Howard. Let's call Tim Howard and see what he's up to.
Stu, is the fact that Tim Ream got called captain an indicator that he's going to play a lot? This, is a bit divisive in U.S. soccer Twitter. I believe he's older than Freddie Adu. So do you expect Tim Ream playing a lot?
Hey, man, Freddie Adu, we're going on the way throwbacks, huh? Tim Ream was my teammate. That's how old he is. I'm 40 years old. We played together at Bolton and U.S. national team. But look, the guy still gets it done, man. And I just think with a team of players, and here's the thing, like normally in soccer, your best player ends up being the kind of de facto captain. Like Messi is not a captain in the traditional sense, that a guy that's going to shout and scream and yell and get in guys' faces all the time. But he's a guy that leads by his play on the field. Pulisic had been a captain. Tyler Adams was the captain at the last World Cup. And I think for these guys, what Pochettino said is, look, we got old man Ream here. He's 38 years old. He's going to be a leader on the field. He might not play every single game, but he's going to play a lot. But you know what it does? By making him the captain, it takes the pressure off the rest of the guys that don't want to be that captain. I think I'm tired of asking guys to be something they're not. Pulisic is just not going to be that type of captain. And I think the qualities Ream brings are bigger in the sense of locker room and leadership. And he's not afraid to stand there with the armband, puff his chest up and say, I'm the captain today, and lead this team. So I'm okay with him being the captain at 38.
One of the things that I always talk to retired athletes about is how they exercise now that they don't have to exercise professionally. Do you still run, or did you do you still just decide to go out and run 10 miles for the hell of it?
Yeah, you want me to bust out the six-pack, Dan? I work hard for this, man. I have had 15 knee surgeries in my career, if you believe it or not. So I had 4 ACL tears. I have a knee replacement now on my left knee. I did that with the view of being active and maintaining the workout, but also to be a sports dad and be on the sidelines with my kids and run around without pain. I had a period there for a year where I couldn't walk. I was limping. And so, yeah, I get up, I go run 10 miles. I'm actually playing in a charity soccer match on Wednesday, the congressional game in D.C. I do Pilates, I do yoga, I run 5 or 6 miles at least 2 to 3 times a week. I play tennis. I've gotten into padel. I don't know if you've hopped on this bandwagon yet. A lot of former pros have jumped on the padel. It's like a glass-walled tennis game mixed between that and squash. It's big in Miami. So yeah, I stay active. It's my way to stay mentally sane. It's my accountability. If I don't get a workout in, I'm kind of feeling a little off that day. So I'm still my playing weight. I like to brag about that. I'm still 165, man. Let's go.
Nice to see you, Stu. Thank you again. He is the lead match analyst for Fox Sports, and they've got the World Cup, and it starts in 10 days. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. It's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait. I got to start studying now. So we'll talk to you soon. Appreciate it.
See you later.
Started
Thank
yet?
you.
Let's find a goalkeeper.
Yeah, we need to find. We don't have a keeper. We've got 10 days to find one. Jeremy, would you do me the favor of looking up the origins of Pilates? Because I think I can't remember the story off the top of my head, but it's an interesting story on how it is that Pilates started as a professional exercise craze. I have not yet gotten to something that Zaslow and Mike Ryan would not shut up about last week. I don't know how La Noche de los Grandes went. How did it end up going?
Oh, what a night!
Yeah, when wrestling is cooking like that,
what a
it
night.
is just a tremendous art form. What a story was told in Monterrey, Mexico.
Oh,
this past weekend.
They love their luchadors, Dan. Let me tell you something. And Saturday night, you had Game 7, and then Game 7, it ended just a little bit after the show started. So then you put your full focus on Triple A, Mask, and Mask. And it delivered in a very big way. It was very bloody, okay? And Mask versus Mask, of course, the loser has to get demasked. It's like the ultimate, what would be the best way to put it?
Shame?
Yeah, shame. It's the ultimate shame. You can never wear the mask again. Your identity gets revealed. Dan, the original El Grande Americano was Chad Gable.
A stunner.
It was Chad Gable. Wow. He had his family in the ring with him as he unmasks, and his son was dressed up in full gear with the mask. His son took his mask off also.
It was such great theater, Dan. The entrances were incredible. The callbacks to this 6-month-long program individually, even though they've been telling the story even longer, there was some like real shoot emotion, I think, from Chad Gable, because it's kind of unfortunate what happened to him. He was the original Grande Americano. This gimmick was created. He got it over, and then he got hurt. And as a rib, they had some guy take on the mantle.
A German guy.
And then he got super over with the crowd. He's a national hero in Mexico, despite not being Americano.
I love him.
Or Mexicano. He's actually German, but it's all ridiculous.
He's a German playing an American portraying a Mexican.
Wait. Say that again?
That's cultural appropriation. I think that's,
bet it is.
Yes,
think that's
100%. 100%. There were 6 people involved in this feud. There was like Bruto
and
Julio. Dan, there are 2 British guys, a German, and 3 Americans. No one's Mexican.
And they love it there. It was in Monterrey, this show. They love it there in Mexico.
You can't have the German be American in Mexico, in Mexican wrestling. You cannot have the German be the American in
portraying a Mexican
wrestling.
But in wrestling, you can. And in Mexico, you can have them eat it all up. And by the end of it, even though they hated the original Grande Americano,
they boo the hell out of him.
They started chanting his name, his real name.
The Germans.
No, the original.
The
The Mexicans started cheering for the American.
There was no Mexican.
No,
the
crowd is Mexican fans.
Only the fans are Mexican.
Yeah. And they were just so appreciative of this tremendous story that was told. If you watch one wrestling match from the weekend, watch that one. It's on YouTube. It already has over 1 million views. It's such great theater.
It was fantastic. And then they put his name on the big screen for everybody to see. Chad Edward Gable.
Now what happens to his great shame? Like, he's there, he's bloody, he's maskless.
Well, the weird thing is, while this is huge in Mexico, he's going to go over to WWE programming, and it's a kind of a bizarre thing.
He'll be on Raw tonight, and we don't give a shit.
They don't really care. Now, Raw is in Europe for like the next month, I think. So we'll see how this all works out for Chad Gable, who legitimately is an Olympian. Like, he is he's
a great wrestler.
He's a tremendous wrestler. And hopefully this
But no one gives a shit.
No one gives a shit about him or the actual over Grande Americano in the United States. They come out, they're curtain jerking, they do like 4 minutes on the screen, they run out, and no one really cares. But on weekends on YouTube and in Mexico, this is the best thing going.
We were in my house, me and my son, I had a friend over and his kid too. We were cheering and yelling at midnight on a Saturday night for these two guys in masks. It was awesome.
No one cares, you say, and yet I believe we have done a better job covering this than any mainstream American sports outlet. The German who's playing an American in Spanish.
Portraying a Mexican.
in Mexico portraying a Mexican.
I texted Pablo. I'm like, you have to get on this. Like, this thing exists, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's all about the connection to the fan base. And only wrestling can really do this.
What a
you have
sport.
grown men also wearing masks in the audience.
Only wrestling should do this, to be clear. All of it is asinine. That kid, his son, should not have also been shamed by having to take his
The son was in the ring standing next to his sister. The kid was maybe 7 years old. He's wearing the wrestling
The
gear.
singlet?
Yep, he's wearing the singlet and the mask. And he took off the mask.
Adam Schefter is reporting that A.J. Brown is likely to be traded to the Patriots in the next 24 hours. Before we talk about that, though, can we find the origins of Pilates, please?
Yeah, well, speaking of Germans, this was developed by a man in Mönchengladbach, Germany, who was being held in Nakalu internment camp on the Isle of Man during World War I. His name, Joey Pilates.
And he was helping veterans, right? He was helping war people who were injured during the war, who may have had one arm and been ticketed by a Hispanic police officer in Palm Beach wrongly because they couldn't do some of the other exercises that were being done, and so he was doing core strength exercises to help wounded veterans.
Really important correction that Mike gave me here in the back.
Mönchengladbach.
I'm glad we got that right.
I was watching Tony during that, and he was impressed that you tried it. Like, I saw Tony looked at you with something. It's a rare time where I felt like Tony was looking at you with admiration, thinking that you were a bit brave because you didn't just skip past that. You didn't have to try to pronounce that. There are all sorts of ways you could have worded that without trying to pronounce it. But Tony, it's hard to get Tony to be impressed by anybody around here. He seemed impressed that you showed the courage to try
Navigated the speed bump of the internment camp, too. I would have been worried about that. Like, what is that? You know, where are we out there?
What is that? I'll give you a book.
No. I know what it is. I'm saying, where are we with that?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I appreciate that. I appreciate
know what
the
it is.
admiration.
Trust me, I know what it is.
The greatest generation.
What was the details that are relevant here to the audience where I saw somebody was going to win $1.7 million if the Spurs part of was it a 4-leg?
Yeah, just real quick, I just want to confirm. That was not a joke. His name is Joey Pilates?
Yep.
All right.
Well, Pilates wasn't famous until he named it Pilates.
Still a ridiculous name.
It is a ridiculous name, but Pilates wasn't around before Joey Pilates made it Pilates.
But he's Joey Pilates.
I know, but Pilates wasn't a real word. Like, nobody knew what Pilates was until they knew what Pilates was.
But it sounds like a rib. Hey, who invented Pilates? Joey Pilates.
We also learned on Friday that orange was named after the fruit, that the color was named after the fruit. Not the other way around.
It's a chicken and the egg situation, Dan.
It's an orange and
they just called it red yellow.
And a color situation. The bet. What are the details of a $1.7 million parlay that was won when the Spurs won that game? You have to hedge that, do you not? If you're wagering $2,500, what are you shrugging your shoulders?
How much do you even hedge on that? $500,000 on the on the other team to win?
You either get $1.7 million if the Spurs win on the road, or you get nothing. I feel like you need to hedge that.
Dan, if you're in the state of Florida, we call that rewards. And you're buying shares, and it's not a parlay. It's a combo. All on the new DraftKings Sports app, now live in all 50 states.
So this was from DraftKings, all right? This guy called the Parlay Prince. That's his name on IG. And he
or Combo Cadet if you're in the state of Florida.
And so he had a 4-leg combo, which was placed. Am I doing that right, Mike? He had a 4-leg combo?
Yep.
That was placed back in February. It was for the U.S. men's hockey team to win the gold. Check. It was for Michigan's men's basketball to win the tournament. Check. It was for the Knicks to win the Eastern Conference. Check. And the final was the Spurs winning the West. He laid down $2,500 back in February. The payout was $1.7 million. He was being offered a cash out, as the video audience can see, of over $600,000. You got to take that. He was the big winner. He didn't take it. Apparently, he didn't hedge either. So he won $1.7 million, but that's like bad process, right result.
Well, the math on this, I am bad at this, okay? Not just math, but wherever it comes to taking one of these wagers and getting out early, I generally don't want to risk it everything on all or nothing. But when you're offered that as a cash out, I would have thought that you might make a bet a little more than that. That the amount that was the cash out, you might bet $700,000 to see what it is that you can do with. You could do better than their cash out. I think that there are mathematical permutations that allow you to do better than what they're offering you as a cash out.
You're saying I'm going to put $700,000, but it's going to net me 1.7 or 1.4.
Right. Well, however it is that you find your middle there. But how are you guys as gamblers? Because Mike likes to bare his fangs and scream at me. I never cash out. Nick Wright does the same thing. I never cash out.
Why?
It's all or nothing. It's all. They're proud about it. They're defiant about it.
I actually took one of my first cash outs ever over the weekend, and it ended up costing me. I like Fonseca came back at Roland Garros, and it ended up winning me a combo.
Okay, but if you were faced with this exact scenario this guy was faced with, $600,000 to cash out or let it all ride for $1.7 million, you're not cashing out?
I probably am cashing out. That's just the. When I'm getting offered cash outs, it ain't that total. Yeah. Like, it's very easy for me to talk tough when the cash out offers, $17.
Well, but
I'm not cashing out for 17.
No, but you do talk tough. No, but you don't do it for $17. I've seen you
relatively compared to that.
The way that you talk, the way that you talk about I don't take cash outs, and the way that Nick Wright talks about I don't take cash outs makes it seem like you are an all or nothing person in these circumstances.
Also, I just don't think that it's not the smart math play. The cash out thing. I just disagree with it.
Well, but the thing I would say to you, though, if it's nothing, if I have a chance at $1.7 million or nothing, I almost feel obligated. If my original offer was $2,500, I'm going to put down like $200,000 so that I'm 10 timesing my money. I'm going to get something. I'm not going to be that close to something and then walk away just totally despondent. I might not take that cash out, but I'm going to do something to mitigate my losses if they lose a Game 7 on the road.
Live big. I just don't like taking the cash out. I like that the books offer that. That's great. Thank you, DraftKings. And you can check out the new DraftKings app. Available now, live in all 50 states. Guys, it's so incredibly user-friendly. It recognizes what state you're in, and it'll take you either to predictions or sportsbook.
I mean, what's the blood pressure like that game? If you don't hedge, you don't take the cash out, and you're letting it ride for $1.7 million.
You love Cornette, though.
The roof blew off when Cornette had that block. The roof blew off.
And they let Hartenstein double dribble. Let's call it as we see it.
Fox went out of bounds.
On that play, it was clearly a Hartenstein double dribble. He got what he deserved, and that was Cornette putting it right back in his face.
How do you feel about Fox stepping out of bounds?
Yeah, it's a missed call.
And then what happened to Struce? Yeah. How do they justify that? How do they justify that?
Pablo, get on that. I've never seen anything like that. They changed the score 10 minutes later.
It was like 8 game minutes later they changed it.
They do some of that, though. It's usually not that much longer. But the foot on a line on a 3, like that's something that I've seen.
How about when the foot's not actually on the line?
Did you guys see that Silver said what it is that I brought up last week of we're going to end up when the officiating's just all computerized? Like, it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. You're in agreement it's going to happen now, right? When Adam Silver is saying to you, yeah, we're looking at all of this because you can't have referees making these kinds of mistakes.
You're asking me if I think Adam Silver's going to get something done? That's what you're asking me? I'm going no.
If technology is going to get it done. It's not going to be Adam Silver getting it done. It's going to be whatever the technology is that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we're just not going to get these calls as wrong as we get them when there's too much riding on it. And even if there's not too much riding on it, the amount of money you're going to save on just referees flying all over the country when you don't need them to be doing that anymore. Like when AI replaces all labor, and I've told you this, if you're not reading about AI, please don't, because it's going to ruin how it is you think about our future, because we are not in any way prepared for the amount of labor that's going to be taken by the robots. But referees, I think, will be relieved when they're taken over by the robots.
AI needs to progress, though, because now, like, if you're arguing with AI over a call and it says that's a foul, no, it wasn't. I'm sorry, you're right. That wasn't a foul.
It does need to progress. I will not dispute that. We are not in any way ready for this now, but I do believe that we are going to laugh at the way we used to do it. There's going to be a time when people look back and say, wait a minute, referees were flying from city to city. These three sad guys were just flying around from city to city to get calls wrong everywhere, to get everything wrong. And we could have done this with computers a long time ago. I think we're going to look back on it the way we look back at cursive handwriting. I think we're going to look back on it the way that we look back at all sorts of things that are now just totally antiquated.
And all things we need to bring back Jack, because all the stuff that's happening now, I don't want anymore. I want cursive handwriting. I want flip phones. All right, I want a car that's not going to shut off when I'm driving.
You think that people are going to long for referee mistakes in a few years?
I long for cursive. I'm keeping it alive.
You long for cursive.
I only write in cursive.
How old is the kid who can't read cursive, or teenager? Like, how old is the...
Well, it also depends in which state you're living in. Like the DraftKings app, which is now available in all 50 states.
I think my younger son would have trouble reading cursive.
But I'm asking what the age is. Like, if I say to you...
You think it's a kid?
I don't know. When I say kid, I meant 14,
No, there's
13.
like a generation of adults that the public school system down here stopped teaching cursive for a bit. It might be back in some places. I think it is actually
Not at
coming
Westwood.
back.
They taught us cursive in Westwood.
Yeah. I know. The M, the Z. Oh, the Q. Always tricky.
You guys can't foresee the day where they're just like drones flying over the court, videoing everything.
Basketball's kind of tough for that. Like, how's AI? Like, the humans can't figure out SGA. I'm not sure the computers are.
The drone's going to call technical fouls on a player?
Did we learn nothing from Westworld? Like, nothing.
Hey, audience. Who made it to Charlotte? Don't go anywhere. We're staying live. All show today. We'll be right back.
I have to go back to Chris Cody here because I'm not sure that I knew this. I have to go back. So you're married to an identical twin.
That's right.
Okay, I have questions.
Go on.
First,
not too many questions.
Well, I know your father's sitting right next to me. It's a little weird. Okay, so first question.
No wonder they're into swinging at that house.
Were you always able to tell them apart?
Not at the beginning when we were just dating. Her sister has like a beauty mark on her face, so I was like, mine's the one without that.
Okay. My next question is, a lot of times, your wife or your girlfriend will be like, you think my sister's attractive, don't you? You clearly think her sister's attractive.
That's right. Undeniable.
If you think your wife's hot, you think her sister is hot.
My sister-in-law's hot.
That's
There, I said
crazy,
it.
right?
I've never said that to her before.
No, you got to say that, though.
Well, you must think she's hot.
But Zaz, here's the deal. Everyone with a hot sister-in-law thinks their sister-in-law is hot. He's the only one who's allowed to say it out loud. That's the difference.
That's true. That's true.
Not like the rest of us are like, oh, my sister-in-law is terrible. Like, if you got a hot one, you're like, oh, my God, she's hot, but you just can't say it out loud.
Yeah. And are they actually different?
They're very similar in a lot of ways.
So how'd you choose?
The other one was taken.
Papa Cody, wait a second now. You experience this. I mean, do you find one more charming than the other?
At the very beginning, I too had difficulty telling them apart.
But do you like, now that you've gotten to know, presumably both of them pretty well, do you think that your boy made the right choice between the two?
I have to say that. I mean, of course he did.
Oh, my goodness.
Of course he did.
Now,
I love my daughter-in-law, but they're eerily alike.
Now,
not just physical.
What I'm about to admit now is a little embarrassing.
Go on.
There are times, in marriage, you're going through,
We know.
you're like,
we know.
it's just, this is
I don't like where this is headed.
I don't
I
either.
do.
Where sometimes you just like, if you're trying to keep things fresh, you just imagine it's the other person.
Oh, no.
That's an unbelievable admission.
That
What's
is-
the matter with you, man?
I didn't hear
Suey. Hey, guys in the room outside, mark that down.
For
Suey
the record,
revelation.
did,
You guys never
did
struggle?
everybody see as one of society's great empaths? Did you see me try to get in the way? Did you see me try to dive in front of that? He refused. He went. He plowed straight ahead.
He did.
You guys never struggle, huh?
Your wife clearly does
I
not
mean,
listen to this show.
What
You got
in hell
no
did-
worries
what
that
did you
this
just
is getting
say?
back to her.
Tony, how you feel about that admission?
Not great. Yeah, not great. Even though, admittedly, Chris says that his wife doesn't watch the show, which is good, right?
Very
So he
good.
feels like he can shoot from the hip here and not really be taken to task, like Dave said. Very good. But the issue is, sometimes some things are so flammable and so big that they peer through the veil of Chris saying, "Oh no, my wife doesn't watch a show," where she's like, "You said what?"
That was
Bigger than the show, man.
Bigger than the show.
Let's not clip this if we can.
That was an incredible admission.
It really
Greg,
was.
what did you make of all that?
A little bit unfortunate. I wish he hadn't said that. It could come back to haunt.
You guys never struggle.
Well, in the context of this show, you can always say, I was just kidding. Of course I was just kidding. But will she believe you?
I was.
Okay.
What is the Nick Bobick?
It's a 60s song. The name game. Nick Bobick. Banana Bofick. Me, my Momick. Nick.
Rosanna, Rosanna, Rosanna,
The name game. I'm the kind of guy that Nick. Who made it the salad? Hey, Butterfinger. Who made it the salad? Nick Bobick. Who made it the salad? Georgia.
That's not correct.
Very good.
It's a parrot that says very good out of the side of its mouth.
That's correct.
What does this have to do with the name game?
I'm not going to take a quiz.
Rosanna, Bobick.
Who made it the salad? Me, my Momick. Very good. Let's go States. We're rolling now, huh?
That's not correct.
Doesn't make it right. But don't go showering to try to please me.
Do you like breathing hot neck on the neck of hot?
Wow.
Are you turned on?
Do you like
Dangling.
breathing hot neck?
What's going on here?
Do you like
Sexy.
breathing hot neck?
You have been dry humped many, many times.
Intimate.
You have been dry humped many, many times.
Little pelvic thrust situation.
I like that.
Have you ever consoled a naked man before?
What does it feel like to get dry humped?
I saw pee-pee.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Breathing hot neck.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
I saw pee-pee.
People out there, stop sending me pictures of the hotel rooms with the chair, okay? Stop sending those to me.
I like that. I like that.
He was naked,
Intimate.
dangling.
I would hold that thing really tight.
How would you do it?
What's going on here?
Do you like
Sexy.
breathing hot neck? Do you like breathing hot neck?
I've been dry humps.
You never know.
I've been dry humps.
Many, many times.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Have you ever consoled a naked
I've
man?
never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
You never know. I like that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Chris Cody and Roy revealed this to me. And Roy, I don't know the context of what it is that you guys were talking about that revealed this about Chris Cody.
Yeah, Chris asked me what the sound from the first down for the Dolphins games were. And I said
It's just a noise I've made throughout my entire life. It's just like one, like I just did it. Hoo-wah!
Yeah.
And to me, that is just that's another Miami Dolphins first down.
Well, let's find out.
Hoo-wah!
Let's find out if your dad knows, because he's not a real moviegoer. Instead of impersonating the sound, do you have the actual sound? Greg Cody, do you know who's making this sound?
Hoo-ah! I do.
Clark Gable.
Come on.
It's the famous actor.
Rock Hudson.
Oh, this is great. He doesn't know it.
It's the No, it's the famous actor And I got to pin his name down because I don't think
You should be able to say this immediately.
I don't think it's Robert De Niro, but I think it's
In the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood. Give me a second. Robert De Niro.
Humphrey
Al Pacino.
So this is funny what just happened and what I'm imagining happened nationally. I don't think we told anybody that we were staying live all 4 hours. So I imagine the people who usually leave at about 11 o'clock Eastern just left. And right now I'm on YouTube talking to nobody. I believe we didn't inform anybody that this week we are doing live the entire show. We are not doing anything that is taped, edited, and thrown into the feed. Is there any particular...
You actually just lost viewers.
There were 3,333 people here. You said that, and 5 people left.
Oh, I'm just surprised that anyone's still there. Why would they be there? We're always done. Do we tell anybody?
Stands the reason if they were hanging around, they might be excited. They've been
5
waiting
more people just left.
years for this day.
I did whisper in their ear right when we finished the last segment. I was like, hey, guys, we're staying up. We'll be right back.
Was
Joe?
that central?
That's how I said
That
it.
was Sleepy Joe. Scrin.
It was a little screen. Hey, guys, we'll be right back. Screen.
Mike Ryan was up at 1 o'clock in the morning watching racing. I don't know if there's been anything more surprising around here in the last 5 years than Mike Ryan becoming obsessed with racing.
No one loves America more than me. Very few people love NASCAR more than me. By the way, happy birthday to my dear friend and Tony's, the Watermelon Man. Oh, buddy, we love you. See you, Rossi. Yeah, Dan, the race last night in Nashville was incredible. And the reason why it was incredible was an all-time finish, and we'll get into that in a moment. Denny Hamlin, an all-time performance from the man. And we have to keep in mind this was on Amazon Prime. All right. So the way that NASCAR does their production is it's kind of like the UFC. It's all done in-house. Very little things differentiate the broadcasters from one another. And they all take portions of the season. It doesn't alternate during like week to week. All right. So Fox gets its chunk and Prime gets its chunk. Dan, Prime is head and shoulders above the rest. It doesn't treat you like an idiot. They go in depth. I am learning so much from this. They go to comms immediately. So if there's a wreck, you're right to Brad Keselowski saying, that guy tried to hit me. It was tremendous. It's really elevated. Prime does a tremendous job with their coverage. But the cool thing about this race was, it's actually, if it was on another broadcast partner, it might have been a tough watch because there were a million restarts. You'd go to caution, and then 1 lap or 2 laps in, there'd be another wreck, and you're like, man, is this race going to end today? It's going to be 2 a.m. and I'll be watching left turns? But the coverage was great. Anyways, we had a clean finish here, and I want to show you this. Denny Hamlin won the pole. He was sitting up top, but he got up to a fast start when the race started. So that's a violation. He got sent to the back of the pack. Denny Hamlin goes from first to last to first, and this finish was an all-timer. You have 3 teammates going 3 wide in this very final lap, all for Joe Gibbs Racing. Check this out.
1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Who's it going to be? Hamlin, Bell, and Briscoe, they're all there. 3 wide to turn 1. This is incredible. Bell shoots to the lead.
That's going to take the line away from the 19, but Denny's going to clear into the lead.
Denny Hamlin chases inside after Bell had squirted out front. Hamlin in charge. 1 last run for Bell in the outside lane. Can he get there? He cannot. Thinks about a crossover. It won't happen. Denny Hamlin, big-time victory in Nashville. How about it?
Oh, and there was a big wreck across the finish line. Tyler Reddick involved. Denny Hamlin wins one of the coolest trophies in sports.
How happy were you?
I was so pumped because that was an investment of my time that I put in there. And I was rooting for Denny. I've turned into a Denny Hamlin guy because of his story and his hard luck. And he's been struggling with restarts all season long. And to nail this restart, it's kind of poetic, especially against a guy who had the best car in Christopher Bell. Here's Denny Hamlin with the Nashville Cracker Barrel 400 trophy, which is just an electric guitar. How badass is that? one of the great races, one of the great finishes, and it was just unbelievable for the race fans who stayed up, which I'm not sure who those people are. Because the audience, the target demo for NASCAR, it's an older audience, and I'm not sure how many people are staying up till 12:30 a.m. Eastern time to watch their NASCAR, but I was one of the lucky few.
So those 3 cars that were in it till the very end, they're teammates?
They're all teammates. They all race for Joe Gibbs Racing.
So how do they decide who's going to win?
What's that? That's best car wins.
Shake and bake.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's best car wins.
Like, they don't get mad at each other?
No, they don't. Like, they all had good cars. In fact, Christopher Bell probably had better car.
No, I like
than
that you
Denny
win
Hamlin.
every time. I'm fine with second.
Well, the guy that is actually probably outside of Denny that's had the most consistent season, who was not featured in that finish, was Ty Gibbs, the grandson of Joe Gibbs, a legendary Washington football team / commander / the R's.
That wasn't their name when he was coach.
Your John C. Reilly impersonation is better than your Joe Biden impersonation. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Do you like a guitar as a trophy? And also, speaking of the Cracker Barrel 400, how do you guys feel about the Cracker Barrel? I like Cracker Barrel.
Love Cracker Barrel.
Underrated breakfast.
I've come around. It's been a tumultuous year.
I don't really do the rocking chairs. People oversell those
Rocking
things.
chairs are
But
nice.
the food is nice.
Happy
usually
the old
a long
man is
wait.
back.
I'm not trying to hit up that store every time, but yeah.
They make you walk through it, though.
Trying to kill our culture.
It's quite the trick. It's like Vegas casinos and hotels where they make you walk through
Look
the
at all this
casino
stuff.
to
You know
get
they
a
consider
room.
a Filipino? By the way, happy June. Let's all get through this month together.
I like bringing my daughter there because it's a good lesson for no. You're gonna get some no today. We're walking in this store and you get nothing. No. You know what you get? A breakfast. Okay? It's not just like, oh, I get a toy now after breakfast. No, you're gonna walk through this store because you're gonna learn in life. It's not always yes.
I think I understand that game that they have at the tables, but can you go ahead and explain it
Oh,
to
do
Tony?
I love that game? The T game, little triangle. You got to hop over. The goal is to land with one left.
What is the name of that game? I've got a couple of questions for you guys because
Oriental Checkers? We can say that, right?
It's a play on for me.
Another football team. Leighton Orient, guys. The Kings.
It's a triangle, and it is what? Is it 9 pegs, 12 pegs, something like that? You have
I don't
to.
like that.
The iconic Cracker Barrel T game
like
is
zero.
parenthetically called Triangle Peg Solitaire.
Arg. What's with this show today?
Put it on the poll. Do you know what triangle peg solitaire is? Because there's no way that people know that that's what the name of that is. But the thing that I was thinking about this weekend is I couldn't think of what the name is for the little device that they put in a pizza box to make sure that the cheese in it's being sent to you doesn't
The
touch
tiny
the
table?
top of the box. Yes. I didn't know what that was called, and B, I wanted to ask you guys if you thought that was a Hall of Fame invention. Because I don't know when that started, but that was not something that was around when I was in college. I would always get pizza that would have cheese on the top of the box because I did not know how to do this table thing. Is that what it's called, Tony? Did you?
Table thing?
No, I just made that up.
It's called a pizza saver, Dan.
Tiny table.
Pizza Saver?
Yep.
So do you believe the Pizza Saver is a Hall of Fame invention? Do you believe that you would put it in the class
pretty good.
of a Hall of Fame invention?
More of a wheel and electricity and internet guy. I wouldn't put it in the Hall of Fame
Top
just
five.
yet.
I would go with the actual table before the pizza table.
I would go with actual pizza.
Everybody likes pizza. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Does everyone like pizza? And also put on the poll, is the Pizza Saver table? I don't think people are going to get the question if I don't name this right.
Man,
I'm
put
telling
it behind
you, though,
air fryer.
To Dan's point, I had a Taco Bell Mexican pizza ruined by the box going down on it. The Taco Bell Mexican pizza needs the little table.
It depends what pizza you're ordering.
Hall of Very Good, perhaps.
Jeremy, can you please see if you can find out when that thing was invented and what it is actually called? Because
it's called Pizza Saver.
It's a tiny table.
But I don't feel like anyone. If I say to anybody, look, you tell me if I'm wrong, Zaslow, because I can't believe that I would be wrong about this. If I were talking to any
or anything else for that matter,
human being in the world, and I just said the Pizza Saver. Do you know what that is? I don't think anyone's going to the table that keeps the cheese off the top of the box when it's being
What a
delivered.
superhero that would be, though.
That is a great superhero. That's what I would be as a superhero, in the tights, bulging out of all the wrong places. I am the pizza saver.
Oh, are you thinking about throwing away that crust? How dare thee?
Don't throw that away. I can help you with that. I will eat it. I'm pizza saver.
In 1974, Claudio Daniel Troglia of Buenos Aires, Argentina, was issued a patent for a plastic three-legged stool that would sit in the middle of a pizza box and keep the top from sagging into pizza, which he called Seppi, after separador de pizza.
I really thought that you were going to tell me his name was Joey Pizza Saver.
In 1985, Carmela Vitale of Dix Hills, New York, was issued a patent for a similar device. She called it a package saver, but it's since been renamed to Pizza Saver.
So this was invented in 75?
74.
Well, but you feel like you've been getting these things all your life? Because I feel like the pizza saver is something that I've only discovered in the last 10 years. That's not something that always came with my pizza.
It's not.
I don't remember in college getting any pizza that had that on it. My college pizza always had the cheese on the top of the box because nobody in Argentina had invented this thing yet.
They hadn't sent it over to Coconut Grove. The issue is that big store chains usually don't throw it in there. Mom and pop places usually put it in there to save because they care more about quality.
See, I disagree because the mom and pop places are usually like the New York style, like the really good, like the thinner crust pizzas. And you don't need that when you're delivering in the box. When you get like Pizza Hut or Papa John's or Domino's, those are thicker and there's a better chance of the cheese getting stuck to the top. And you do get
But I've never seen them on there.
You know,
when I order from those places, I don't see it.
I ordered yesterday from one of those Papa John's, and there was a pizza saver.
Yeah. They have the pizza saver, or do they use that little garlic cup as their pizza saver?
That's cheating, but also saving a little bit of money.
How does that stay in place?
You think there's a garlic cup that just sits in the middle of the pizza?
I'm just thinking anywhere. I'm just trying to spitball in here.
All right.
Wow, you really bailed on
a little
your point.
two-bird situation. Kill two birds. I want this garlic sauce in here, and look, it can put in the middle.
It's a good point,
it protects my
actually,
pizza.
because some pizzerias, according to the origins here on Wikipedia, some pizzerias have eliminated the use of this plastic pizza saver by returning to the old method of simply baking a bread ball into the center of their pizzas to hold it up.
Wow.
Yeah. It sounds like Pizza Saver ran into capitalism's cost saver.
I want to go back to what Chris was alleging. You think that there is the cup of the garlic sauce or the tomato sauce.
You know about that garlic sauce?
Of course I do, but that's not what we're talking about right here. And you think that they put that on top of the cheese.
I'm just, thinking out loud.
I think that you really fell apart on interrogation because you've gone now to. I was just spitballing and I was just thinking out loud. You have no conviction in your point. It's falling apart under the merciless cross-examination of Zaslow, who thinks you're a fool. You feel it, and you're like Chet Holmgren last night, or Saturday, where you're like just scared in the face of a real pizza expert.
I'm not so sure.
You look like a pizza expert, just like Chet Holmgren looks like an NBA basketball player. But in the face of the Wemby of pizza, you are folding under cross-examination.
So if I ask for multiple, boxes of the garlic sauce, they're plopped on top of my cheese pizza. That's what you're saying.
I was thinking if they're on the outskirts of the pizza, they could still do some work to support the box. Is all I was.
But
really
you don't
getting
believe
at.
in your point. You're just your body language has gone to hell. Like you don't feel confident anymore. Once you've gone, I'm just spitballing. I'm just spitballing here, and then you fall out of the screen because that's the other thing you did. You're in front of the camera. Yeah, you were as if hiding from what remains of our audience that we didn't tell we'd be on live.
I'm not above being wrong. If I was wrong about it, then I want to know it.
Do you think if I order garlic knots, do they then just throw the garlic knots on top of the pizza to prevent the lid from smashing down the cheese?
They do not.
Okay.
Garlic knot.
What happened to Jesus Sanchez? Was this in Toronto that this happened to him, where he's hit by a baseball thrown by a fan? And let's see this video here. It was not in Toronto.
Yeah, this is in Baltimore, I believe. And this is an incident where you start off very angry. You're like, who would throw something at a player? He's in right field, and a ball all of a sudden gets thrown. He gets hit in the hand, and he has to leave the game. So you're thinking when you see this story, what the heck is happening in Baltimore? And then you learn afterwards from the manager that he was having a nice exchange with a 12-year-old kid, and then the kid there was a miscommunication, and the kid when he looked away, threw a ball. So they weren't mad at the kid. It was just a miscommunication. Apparently, the kid did get thrown out because you can't be throwing balls regardless of whether you're having a back and forth. So it's just a kind of interesting story that you never see. Baseball gives you these things. Other sports, I feel like we've seen it all. Baseball, you get shit you never see.
This would have never happened to that woman who was ticketed by the West Palm Beach police officer.
It's got to be a lefty.
Yeah, don't forget about Jim Abbott.
It's also a pretty amazing throw by that kid, huh? Tremendous accuracy from the 12-year-old.
Henry Rowan Gardner situation.
Yeah.
Get me that up!
Call that kid up.
Also annoying how good Jesus Sanchez is now that he's not a Marlin anymore.
Nah, you're
right, bud.
overreacting.
If you're the dad of the 12-year-old kid, you're seeing it happen right in front of you. Your kid, he thinks that Jesus Sanchez wants to play catch. The kid throws it, it hits him. You immediately see that Jesus Sanchez is uncomfortable. He might be hurt. If you're the dad, like, you got to turn to your kid like, "Get the hell out of here."
Run.
Right?
You've injured Toronto's outfielder. You've hit him in the hand.
Run.
He's writhing in the outfield. And yeah, I think in that instance you do have to run before security comes and gets you. But I do believe there should be some dispensation. There should be some kindness about the fact that Jesus Sanchez was trying to play catch with the kid. You don't throw a kid out when Sanchez baited him.
Hey, kid, we were playing catch. It's time to start the game now. I'm kind of with the team here. This kid needs to be punished.
Well, he was punished for just tossing a ball to an outfielder who, couldn't have asked him to toss the ball because he wasn't in any way expecting the ball. Regardless, when you think of Marlins outfielders, that's not what I do. I say, wow, that 5 years with Stanton, Yelich, and Ozuna would have been pretty good. That 5-year period where all of them were doing special things, that would have been a good outfield to have down here for a while.
If the MLB approves their new salary cap thing, the Marlins will just have to add $92 million to their payroll to meet the floor. That'll be fun.
Saw Abner got suspended for his revolting display.
How long did he get suspended for 3 pumps against the dugout of the St. Louis Cardinals?
A game.
A game? We were talking, for those of you who do not know what we were talking about, Abner Uribe, a reliever for the Milwaukee Brewers, struck somebody out and then did 3 pumps to the dugout. Would he have gotten suspended if it had only been 1 pump? Is it a Key and Peele situation of 1 pump, 2 pump, 3 pumps? If it had just been a single pump that he had just done the suck it X 1 time, do you believe that comes across Manfred's desk and he's like, you know what, I'm okay with 1 pump. 2 pump is a bridge too far.
But he did the suck it X on the 3rd?
As silly as it sounds, I think 1 suck it crotch chop is not getting a suspension.
1 leads to an angry dugout, 2 leads to a fine, 3 leads to a suspension. That's my view of it.
I mean, I know it's the Key and Peele skit, but I think there's something to it. I don't think 1 crotch chop is getting you suspended.
He only had 1 X, though, right?
No, he had 3 X. I thought he did 3 X's.
No, by my math,
I thought he did 1
yeah,
and
no,
then 2.
By my math, the first one was not an X. The final 2 were, if I remember it
Well,
correctly.
we're gonna count X's now here. Suck it X's right now. Here he goes.
Break it down.
So good. Here we go. Oh,
an X. Now he X's.
No, that, I mean,
Oh my
The
God.
other one, if you see,
an
he
X.
breaks his hands.
The camera cut away because of how lewd and disgusting that act was.
First one was not an X. That's all I know.
And then this, and then this.
I mean, that is 3 suckets, though. It might not
Oh, no,
be an
he's saying
X,
suck
but,
it.
Well, but that's 3 suckets. Like, that's
See, what's the first one? No?
2,
Yes?
3.
I think he takes his arms apart at the last one, so it was only 1
I
X.
think we only get 1 X. I'm with Tony here.
Jeremy, would you do me the favor, please, of looking up the word languid? Because the way he's doing this, put this in the picture. This isn't just suck it. It's suck it sensually. Like, it's grooving. I'm looking for a word. I don't think it's languid. But there's a word I'm looking for because the nature of this is I'm bored having sex with you. I'm bored by it. I'm
Drooping or flagging from or as if from exhaustion. Find a better word, I think.
Okay. Help me. I'd like some
Sure,
help.
you got it. I'm on
In
it.
Spanish, it's toma.
Help me.
Well, yes, in Spanish, but that you're saying it in a way that's aggressive, and toma, literally translated, is drink it. But I'm looking for something more casual. I'm looking for something like he seems a bit bored by how easy it is to both strike you out and do 3 pumps at your dugout. He's so good that it bores him to do this to you. There's not a lot of effort being poured into what it is that he's doing there.
I'm embarrassed for the Cardinals that they allowed him to do 3 suck-it crotch chops and did nothing about it.
I'm remiss in not mentioning that just recently, or a couple of minutes ago, Serena Williams came out of retirement.
Oh,
doubles.
Should have probably mentioned it's still coming out of retirement there.
That is doubles. It's also still doubles.
Is that as big as Brock Lesnar returning this past week?
I felt like a fool. They fooled me. They tricked me.
Don't do the shoes in the ring thing if you're going to come back.
They tricked me.
You guys
said how important that was.
They tricked me.
You and Zaslow.
Hey, I'm not proud of it. I'm 40. They tricked us.
You and Zaslow.
Those liars.
You guys came on here and said after WrestleMania that you were moved by the fact that Brock Lesnar lost and then knelt in the middle of the ring and placed his shoes on the middle of the mat.
Did the shoe thing.
He was emotional. He said goodbye.
You guys said that was him retiring.
Yeah.
Great career. Way to go, Brock. And 7 minutes later, he's back. Before he gets to the locker room, he's decided, that was all for show. That none of that was real.
They tricked us.
I'm 45 years old. Wrestling tricked me.
They never trick us like that.
I am curious, though. Was this a legit thing that they pivoted on, or do you
Great
think this was part of the plan the entire time?
Great question. My 14-year-old son asked me a couple days ago because Brock Lesnar fought yesterday. He won, by the way. Oh, he took down Obafemi. Anyway, my son asked me yesterday, do you think this was always the plan, or did they just offer Brock a lot of money? Because Brock loves Brock and wives. Same love, all right? Did Brock come back for the money?
Languorous, suggesting a dreamy boredom and delicacy that avoids unnecessary activity.
That's a good word. That's a better word than languid.
And Toma?
I already forgot.
Languorous.
It's not better than Toma, no.
Thank you.
Lackadaisical.
They tricked us. And he looked great.
Fooled me.
He looked so great.
Listless, even.
Yeah, I like Brock.
Is Serena Williams coming out of retirement to play doubles with her sister, or play doubles with? Is it an emotional thing? Is it a symbolic thing? Because obviously, if it's doubles, nobody's going to care. If she was doing singles, it would be different. But she's not going to get much of her competitive, whatever she misses competitively from being the best in the world. I don't know that she's going to get much of it from doubles. I wonder if there's an explanation, since this just happened, that we can go to that would help us understand why she's doing this. Something I always find interesting, Zaz, and given that you guys just said we're in our 40s, most athletes end up losing their identity, the whole thing that they are, by the time that they're 40, and there is no replacing it. It's not just the structure and the discipline of how it is you lived your life, because I did marvel at the fact that Serena played as long as she did, because that sport is lonely, it's exhausting, it's kind of boring when you're not playing, that you have to practice that much on the sculpting of sort of some singular things. And so I figured that anyone who left tennis would want basically nothing to do with tennis. But you never replace the competitive thing that made you great. There's no place to put it as you age. And so in some places, I think it's harder for athletes to hit what is the midlife crisis, because it's technically the end of life crisis on what their identity has been. You can't pour that much of yourself into something and have it not be a lopsided form of who it is you are. And so we're still working in our 40s. All of us are still doing the thing that we like. But when you're an athlete, you're lucky if you even get to 40, obviously. So I would imagine that Serena Williams has a hard time replacing what it was to be Serena Williams.
She's going to be playing with Victoria Mboko, who's a real up-and-coming tennis sensation. I think the thinking here is, from a lot in the tennis community, is this the start of something? Does she go back to doubles, realizes that her body feels good, because it might be a soft launch? She's gone through the drug testing process for 6 months. How does the body feel doing this? How do you feel when the ball comes your way in doubles? It's far less physically demanding. But if she feels good out there, can she perhaps do the one thing that would somehow add to the legacy of the greatest tennis player ever?
She's a lot smaller than she was back when she was playing full-time, right?
Well, she's also doing advertising, and I wanted to ask you guys about this because it's not a conversation that I see happening anywhere, and I think it's probably something that should be happening somewhere. She's doing commercials, okay, for weight loss injections, which are very vogue right now, and I wonder when sports is going to catch up to some of that stuff and peptides as performance enhancers. Like, I think that this stuff has flourished so quickly and has so many unknowns on it that I think sports might have to do something about peptides and some other things that are science outpacing what has been historically banned substances.
According to this very moment, the World Anti-Doping Agency has monitored GLP-1s. They are not prohibited at this very time.
No, I know they're not now, but what I'm saying is they weren't around when all of these rules were being made. And science, I think, I didn't think any of us would live at a time that you could actually cheat your way to appetite suppression. Like, I wasn't aware that that was so, but I also don't know what other things these things do. And the reason that I mention it is because literally a week ago, my doctor suggested peptides to me. Literally one week ago. Yeah, no. And so I tried it. And I feel totally different in a week. Like, in 1 week, I have done one injection. No, I feel a lot better.
Okay,
I feel.
You're doing the injections.
BPC 157?
That's a way to get them to work.
I mean,
Wolverine stack?
It's just, I don't even know what peptides are, but it is evidently something that's beyond whatever Ozempic or Mounjaro is doing.
Well, those
for
are
people.
GLP-1s. Those are a different story and different class of things.
That's right. Drink it in. This is me feeling amazing. I feel 20 years younger.
Tómalo. No, but it's an appreciable difference, though. It just feels like
you know about that N80 Plus?
I do
N80
not.
Plus, good stuff.
Methylene
Blue?
No.
Get on that. Methylene Red?
You should take them all.
Have you been watching the enhanced games?
That's what McAfee says. McAfee says I've got so much stuff coursing through me, like just at all times.
Yeah,
Looks like it.
I think he's alluding to a lot there. The enhanced games, I gave it a try. I was blown away by how good the production was. This could not have been a good spend for whoever was behind it. There's no way they were recouping this.
Well, you mentioned earlier the Cracker Barrel 400 and what a good job that Prime did on it. Are you guys? I know I've mentioned this a couple of times to you, but I'm genuinely curious. The fact that Amazon Prime has gotten into the broadcasting game, and earlier today you guys saw that we've been doing this a while. We couldn't get a means connection right. The fact that Prime is doing these things this well and making it look so easy that no one's noticing that the new people that have come to this coverage are learning how to do it because you're not seeing any of the mistakes. Okay,
I want you to watch this video.
No, this is ridiculous.
This is
I wanted to save this for my dad.
Yeah, we wanted to see if we could trick your dad. This is a real clip from the enhanced games. This is competitive swimmer in the. This guy's name is Jacked Up.
That's
a new record.
You think we could have tricked Greg Cody?
For the audio audience.
Yes, for the audio audience, there's a guy who's 300 pounds and 4% body fat. He's on a dive board about to jump into the pool, and instead, when he jumps, he goes right over the pool and into a nearby wall.
Breaks through.
You guys aren't surprised that there aren't any glitches with the amount of money that is being thrown at these giant broadcasts, because it's not that easy to do these things without technical difficulties. It really isn't. And
the technical difficulties came with the rocket launch for Jeff Bezos, but TV, that seems to be going a little bit smoother, and that's where the money really, 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 really helps.
the money of Amazon obviously is a lunacy. I don't think many people understand, but I don't understand how Prime has cornered basically commerce. And so when you've cornered all of commerce, when you're someone who can knock out, you have to go somewhere to shop for things because of how much we've gotten addicted to convenience, the amount of money in inventing the speedy commerce makes it so that Bezos can buy Whole Foods easily and can get into the broadcasting game and can have just an assortment of content in a library that has, what seems like it has to be billions of dollars being spent on what it is that they're doing. And in sports, they're doing it without a glitch. I thought there had to be a hiccup. Like, I don't think that Americans are so spoiled with the amount of money that we have that we shouldn't be at least noticing that they have changed the way that everyone broadcasts to us without a hiccup.
I am stunned at how well their NASCAR coverage goes because NASCAR is a very difficult production. There's a million things going on. You have access to countless comms. You have to have people across everything. And the fan base in NASCAR would be pretty apprehensive about a tech giant coming over to NASCAR. And it is crazy how much better they are than everybody else.
We're in for a really fun time in sports because what you want is the best who have money competing against each other to grab the customers and do better than everyone else is doing at the spending of money and the return on that investment. But the idea, Zaslow, that you can just click on your app now and get coverage that's better than any coverage that you're used to getting from a retailer, if I tell the audience here, before the recent Colbert stuff, if I had asked you guys, how many people does a late night show employ? Would you guys have guessed 150? Would you guys have thought that a late night television show requires 150 people?
No.
I think most people would think it's less than that and that some of this stuff is easier because of how easy it's made to look. These broadcasts require hundreds of people to mobilize wherever it is that they're broadcasting from at 12:30 in the morning, the Nashville at the Cracker Barrel 400. And no one can make a mistake that interferes with the broadcast. Like, we have not gotten one glitch that's embarrassing from Peacock, from Netflix, from Prime. We haven't gotten one thing where people are saying, that's garbage. I see how they're learning there. I just don't know how it is that you make it this seamless, and I can't imagine the money and people involved in making it that seamless because broadcasting's never been better because all of these entities are competing and they all have money and they all want sports. We are living in a golden age, and they're only going to keep getting better because this is the learning stage. Like, they're just figuring out how to do all of this stuff, and I don't know how they're doing it. I would think that somewhere somebody would have an embarrassment. I would think that somewhere Jake Paul is doing a Netflix thing and something goes wrong and everyone can laugh at Jake Paul, but it never happened.
Well, that was actually seemingly the only time it's happened was when he fought Mike Tyson. That was a disaster on Netflix, streaming-wise, and that was apparently the only time it's been a problem. Every time since you have any of these sporting events that are streaming, all right, you had the Jake Paul thing, and nope, we've all learned since then. It's all perfect now.
You put the standard in such a high place that when it now happens, you can run around and look at Jake Paul and make fun of him for it because it just never happens. And we've been sitting here talking about human error and mistakes. The officials can't make mistakes. The game can't be officiated. We're going to have robots in the future officiating NBA games, and yet here you are with everything you're consuming. We couldn't get through today's show without a Means line dropping 3 times. We decided to go live bravely for 4 hours today. It's actually 3 hours, but our 4 hours that are each 40 minutes long. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Should 40 minutes ever be referred to as an hour?
When I had to explain that to my wife when I first started coming in here like a year ago, she didn't understand what the hell I was saying. She's like, wait, 37 minutes? That's not an hour.
Did your wife watch any of Greg Cody last week?
Yeah. Yeah, she's confused by him.
Still?
Yeah. Like, I didn't get over it after a couple of weeks. Took me dozen years.
But even Cuckception, she didn't get it? What about Cuckception?
When he was saying, like, she's going to love this, like, later on, did she love it?
Okay, I don't know if she saw that part. All right. Like,
you kept it
So
from
you
her.
withheld. You withheld
Sometimes
that
I do.
episode.
Sometimes I withhold. If things are said on the show that I don't necessarily want her to experience, I will not show that.
You
to her.
withheld Cuckception.
Does she know
Sometimes
that
I
everyone knows you're a cuck?
To what extent? I mean, she obviously knows the Billy Crystal story, but does she know that, like, every day people are saying, look, the new thing today is there's a new cuck chair in a hotel that's circulating on social media, and then everyone's like, oh, Zaz, did you see this? Yes, I've seen it. Last week it was the Cuckwarium, and now it's a new one. There's a new cuck chair in a hotel.
She liked that, your wife.
All right. Well, so I did not show her that part. Yeah. She doesn't need to see everything.
You saw the cuck shower, yeah?
Yeah, that's the Cuckwarium.
I'm getting all choked up.
Have you guys seen Billy Corbin's movie on Hulu? It's the most popular movie, documentary in the history of Hulu. It's about the Falwell family and the fact that Liberty's president, Falwell's son, was famously a cuck with a Miami pool boy. It's great. It really is. You guys haven't seen what I'm talking about? Is it called God Forbid? Is that what it's called? You guys, you haven't seen what? You haven't seen it? Says it's worth a.
This is Jerry Falwell we're talking about?
It's Jerry Falwell's son. It'd be
Junior.
difficult. Yeah, it's Junior.
You should really watch it. It seems like Dan really wants you to watch it. Are you comfortable watching?
I mean, we'll see. I'm living my life.
Just pull up a chair.
You will see, because you
watch.
are comfortable watching.
I got things to do. We'll see.
You don't do them in the chair. Others do them, and you watch.
No. Everybody knows about me. I don't do that at all. Never.
I don't think they do know that, or they wouldn't be
dream.
saying your shower is the Cuckwarium.
One dream I had. One dream. Someone sent me a picture of the Cuckwarium, and they superimposed Billy Crystal in the shower. Swear to God.
Did it turn you on a little?
Well, he wouldn't be in the shower, right? He'd be outside. You'd be the one in the shower.
Just standing there, like, being all funny.